for BJP leads in Kashmir. Again, Congress NC leads, much of it is coming from Kashmir.
What
but
is that constituency
the Jammu
number 27
belt
on
seems
top?
to be
27 on top. What is constituency?
We'll have to. It's not showing. It's
not showing yet. So we'll go to it. Interesting that is going up on the higher Kashmir division there, and you see a saffron.
So this election in Jammu and Kashmir is turning out to be the humdinger. Really,
Yeah.
it's a lot of people who are predicting that the individuals will not be sort of making any strides. Well, those greys, literally they are greys.
Yeah.
They are grey horses running in that
Yeah.
race. We don't quite know which way this will swing, but this is looking like not the walkover that the NC and the Congress were predicting till yesterday.
This has been settling for here for a
These
while.
are postal ballots.
These are postal
Very much
ballots,
so.
and the kind of demographic profile of this postal.
But I'll tell you
demographic
something,
JNK
Rashid
is
bhai,
something
I'll tell you
different.
something. In the Lok Sabha elections, the postal ballots had also begun to show a particular trend, and we were all wondering, if this trend holds, the result will be quite different. And it actually did. It ended up holding. So, look, I'm just generally speaking.
Absolutely.
And there are people of different demographies also voting in the postal system. So, I mean, Aarti Tikku seems to suggest that fewer Kashmiri Hindus are voting, but.
Okay, just quickly
that's-
going to the live result.
outcome that
Avantika.
determines.
Then
that's
I'll come back to our guests in studio. Yes, Avantika.
Anand, lots of developments happening. I'll just quickly go to Haryana. Haryana is busy right now. Jammu में काफी lead हो रही है वहाँ पर. बताइए leads 9 सीटों पे लीड हो रही है अभी.
7 सीटों पे हो गई हैं.
7 सीटों पे from 9 to 7. All right. और बताइए जम्मू के
बडगाम से उमर अब्दुल्ला अब भी आगे हैं, उधमपुर सीट से बीजेपी आगे हैं, अखनूर से आगे हैं और पीडीपी 3 सीटों पर आगे चल रही है.
And Congress is doing really well on all the Sonipat seats. Gohana, Gannor, Baroda, Rai, Kharkhoda, they are doing really well. The Congress is doing well. So it's looking good for the Congress at least for now, 42. But again, I'll reiterate, it's just too early. And till all the numbers are out, we're not going to be calling it out just as yet.
No.
और बताइए और
It's too early to call and all. Let's not even talk about calling at this point. It's just early leads, and it's just about 8:30 on the clock, and we've got at least about 5 to 6 rounds of counting before we see these leads and consolidate anywhere. Yes, Avantika.
Yes, I'll just quickly, इकबाल जी बताइए हरियाणा के बारे में.
हरियाणा से देखिए अभी तक जो है काफ़ी सीटें आगे. देखिए अगर हम बात करें जुलाना से विनेश फोगाट जो है कांग्रेस से लीड कर रही हैं. अगर हम बात करें सोनीपत की सभी सीटों पे कांग्रेस लीड कर रही है. एक सीट पे इंडिपेंडेंट लीड कर रही है. इसी तरह अगर नायब सिंह सैनी की हम बात करें तो वो भी बीजेपी लीडिंग कर रही है, और भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा भी जो है वो लीड कर रहे हैं. यानी कि अब तक का जो अगर लीड देखा जाए तो कांग्रेस लगातार 43.
Vinesh Fogart leading is also interesting. Anand, she fought the entire campaign on Julana ki Bahu, and she fought a very aggressive campaign. She led a very aggressive campaign and fought a great election. So these are the initial leads right now. I'll keep coming back to you and giving you the updates.
Right.
So for now, back to the studio.
So Vinesh Fogart leading from Julana. Now there is a 6-seat lead that the Congress NC has opened up against the BJP in Jammu and Kashmir.
So Anand, are you noticing something about Jammu and Kashmir?
Yeah.
Some of the exit polls had given BJP around 23, 24 seats.
Yeah.
So the exit polls seem to have faltered a bit, because if these trends hold, the BJP looks northwards of 25. Because
Correct.
remember, we haven't still even opened.
Northwards of 25, but look
Yes.
at the independent numbers. The
Yeah, that's
independent
right.
numbers are also somewhere which are significant, because there are 10
Have the
independents.
exit polls actually overestimated the pull, the traction of the Congress NC?
So
now
in
that
Haryana,
is
the Congress
interesting.
has hit 46, which
Yeah.
is the halfway mark.
So there you go, the
Again,
magic
leads.
figure in terms of leads. There you go. Haryana Congress is right at the magic figure right now. The BJP climbing up, inching slowly, but 18, far behind. Far
But
behind
we
the
know
Congress,
that
which
even
is
in Bihar,
which is right here at the magic
in
figure
that very
of
famous
46.
election, in that very famous election in Bihar, all the leads changed post 12. So look, I mean, I don't think we.
बढ़ाने का ख्याल अच्छा है.
नहीं
Like he is being provocative.
अगर बिहार जैसी परिस्थिति रशीद कितवाई होती है और फिर आपने वोट शेयर की बात की, तो अभी थोड़ी देर पहले जो आपने बोला उसको मैं वापस चलवाऊंगा.
I am taking to Anand. I am saying दिल को बहलाने का ख्याल अच्छा है. You can give Bihar example. It's good, but half an hour. What will you say then?
No, but I think one trend that is holding true, which Rahul has been saying, is in Haryana, the smaller parties, AAP, JJP, INLD, all zero.
Wiped out. It's a two-horse race.
That is helping the Congress.
That is helping
in
the
a
Congress.
two-horse race, generally, even with a 2-3% vote share swing, the winner takes all. So the Congress should only consolidate from 46,
So what's
and they should go up to
complicating
70.
Jammu and Kashmir
That's
are the
what's
grey
happening.
horses.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the PDP that is doing,
PDP
sort of
is leading in 4 right now.
four.
PDP is leading
So
in 4. There are
surprising
many
its own
pollsters who did not want to want to give it any seats. There were others who believed that giving the PDP about 6 to 7 seats is a lot because there's a huge sentiment against the PDP on ground. They don't want the PDP there at all, but they are leading in 4, and that becomes critical for the Congress plus NC that they cannot form government without the PDP. So that's what something which the PDP also said कि वो सरकार बना तो सकते हैं लेकिन हमारे बिना बनाना मुश्किल है. And then Iltija Mufti said, let's all calm down, let's all pipe down. Umar Abdullah said, let's all calm down, let's all pipe down.
What's happening in the other seat where Umar Abdullah is? Do we have those?
Budgam,
no.
We don't know.
You know,
Ganderbal
he's
is not
in Budgam, which is the new seat that he's fighting from
right.
the traditional family bastion of Ganderbal. There's no reporting yet.
Because remember that one seat will have to be sort of...
Well, some of the leads are coming in early on and they are not
Discounted.
strong enough or robust enough for it to be plotted on the map. So that's why you may see a little bit of a disparity. But it's all the postal ballot numbers which are coming through. 19 and 46 right now for Haryana, 31 and 26 in Jammu and Kashmir. Others have hit double digits in Jammu and Kashmir. Others inching up to 6 in Haryana. But it's a two-horse race.
What is worrying me about Jammu and Kashmir right now?
He is currently beating the BJP hollow. That's
What is worrying me about Jammu and
Haryana.
Kashmir right now is that seat that you were talking about, Gurez, etc. That it looks like a very polarized election. Very polarized. So Jammu is one way, Kashmir is another. BJP is certainly not making inroads in Kashmir, which is worrying. Which also suggests
but
that
if there are 10 independents,
there is no recognition and
if there are-
appreciation.
No, Rahul, one thing. If there are
that's
10
not-
independents, if there are 10 independents in Kashmir,
True.
out of the 46 seats, then that is significant. And if this independent number goes up to 15, that is also significant because there is an alternative politics
I'm
that
playing
is
devil's
coming up.
advocate because
independents are independent.
yes, and that's right. See, that's the point I'm making. They can go any which way, but the fact is, and this is what upsets a little bit, is that Kashmir itself, the valley, has not known such a transformation where you have peace. You have people going to movie halls in 34 years.
No, they're playing cricket at 11:30
You
at night.
have Shias who have been able to celebrate Muharram in 37 years. And if the BJP is not given its due, I'm sorry, it suggests that there is something. I've been asked not to call it prejudice, but they're a victim of their perception. And this is a very, very rotten campaign that has been run by the NC and the Congress, promising everything. I'm sorry, promising a lot when they know they can't deliver. They can't deliver on Article 370. They can't deliver on state.
Rahul, there is nothing unusual. If we go back and we see what had happened in Mizoram, elected Congress government, they resigned, and Mizo National Front won. So it happens, and the Congress got nothing in return. That happened during Rajiv Gandhi's time. In Punjab, in several states, it happens like that. In Assam also.
They gave
So-
Telangana. They were
Absolutely.
locked in Telangana.
So these are the political parties, national political parties, tend to make, sacrifices in the larger national interest. If it's happening in Kashmir, we should be welcoming it. Rather than, criticizing it.
See, one part is that the BJP
I
did not
actually will
actively
never welcome it. I will never
If the
welcome it because
BJP
look at the record of the NC and the PDP. What did they give Kashmir all these years? And they kept blaming the centre.
Look at the record of National Conference, losing their political workers in the insurgency. Not in ones, not in tens, but in thousands.
Sir, the
Sir, it's not
National
as simple
Conference
as
is
that.
youth
They're not
wing,
exactly
and they
the
only
victims.
had another wing which was very
The National
closely working with the
Conference-
Jamaat Islami.
Yes.
The National Conference rule only allowed the Jamaat Islami to seed in their teachers at basic level education, and the corruption of the education system happened in Jammu and Kashmir. So a lot of things happened
I'm
under
aware of this
the
Bindal
Nehru
Valley
Conference.
syndrome.
Somebody
Guys,
was kept in
let's
jail.
get back
Let's
to
not
the
get into the
numbers.
past.
Yeah, let's get back to the numbers.
We come back to what's happening today. What's happening today is that this aspect of 10 seats. One thing that we need to look at is these 10 seats. That means there is an alternative story that is building. The other thing is RT Tikku, that the BJP did not contest all 46 seats in the Kashmir division. They have fielded about 15 or 18 candidates max.
Yeah.
That's what they've done.
18.
18. So how those 18 perform, what vote share they get will be a story in itself if there is an alternative there. But this is close. This is not going to be an easy race for anybody. Rashid Kidwai.
Yeah, I think it's again I would say the postal ballots too early, but of course if there is in postal ballots also, if NC Congress is ahead, maybe in actual results also they will be ahead. This is my reading of situation. Who forms the government is the time to tell.
No, I think the upper sort of wall that the BJP needs to breach is 35 because they can count on the support of, let's say, 10 independents to get to the halfway mark of 45. Whereas for the Congress NC, it would be 40 because they can count on the PDP. The PDP will eventually, whether it's through outside support or part of government, PDP, whatever seats that they get, 4 or 5, will support the Congress and NC. So I think the two different yardsticks also need to be kept in mind. If the BJP needs to hit 35, and count on the support of 10 to 12 independents to go past the halfway, whereas for Congress NC,
That's very
the
critical.
ceiling is higher. They need to get to 40.
But here's the thing, there's a possibility that both parties or both combines may have 35 seats each. So if Congress plus NC has 35, BJP has 35, then who gets invited first?
Well, that will only happen
because the whole dynamic changes. 90 seats plus 5, so 95.
Yes.
So there are two parties, two entities which can get 35,
And the
35,
five.
70 seats. Baki ki 25 seats is what going to change.
But
the
that
whole
will
game
happen
there,
only
you know?
if there is a massive consolidation in favor of the BJP in Jammu. So, the BJP is really betting big on Jammu, and they're
Rahul is
hoping that the
right.
conversion rate is about 85.
See, 34 and 27, 7-seat
85,
lead
yeah.
opened up by the Congress NC
Yes.
combine in Jammu and Kashmir. Yes, Advaita Kala?
So don't agree with me.
No, I'm agreeing with you because the BJP, as far as postal ballots is concerned, they are not getting.
Okay,
35,
Congress
35
51 in
plus.
Haryana.
Okay.
Congress 51 in Haryana. 51 leads in Haryana. 30-seat lead from the BJP. That's what it's opened up. It's a big lead that the Congress has opened up. Yes, Avantika.
We also got an update, Anand, on Gurez. Nazir Ahmad Khan is leading right now. और बताइए उनका कितना?
Yes, Nazir Khan from NC is leading, and BJP candidate Fakir Khan is trailing as of now.
Okay,
So,
that's
Fakir
the
versus
update on-
Nazir में Nazir आगे चल रहे हैं.
Yes.
So that was the whole
So
narrative.
that's what I'm
Ishan was
saying.
saying Fakir
See,
versus
so that-
Wazir.
That's what I'm saying.
because of
So that's what I'm saying. The point is that the Valley seems to be reposing faith in individuals that really sold them
Lemons.
salt instead of sugar. And that's where the problem is. And look,
On the
I'm not
day of
making any...
verdict, let's not question the sagacity of voters of Jammu and Kashmir. It's a very welcoming thing that there has been democratic participation in a troubled state in a very big
Well,
way.
Rahul, as they
And
say,
whoever
when
is
life
winning
gives you lemons,
has
make
a
lemons,
allegiance
man.
to the Indian
That's-
Constitution.
Sorry,
That's
sir.
what it is.
If the voter is going to pick a separatist, if someone like Engineer Rashid, and I was very, very clear, even in the Lok Sabha election, if they're going to pick separatists, then sir, I'm sorry, but I don't agree with the sagacity of the voter.
All right,
Seriously.
Congress plus NC 36, BJP is 28, and and others are 11. Others are 11. PDP is 4. Again, in Haryana, 21-53. That's the number. Others are 6. So it's a two-horse race in Haryana very clearly, and Congress stealing a March 32-seat lead already over the BJP. These are just postal ballots. The rounds of counting have to come. Bhupinder Hooda has told all Congress workers that you have to wait till the last round is counted in the strong rooms. Don't leave the strong rooms. The BJP is also saying, बैठे रहो, वहीं रहो, हिलना नहीं, एक-एक वोट ढंग से count करो, because if it's a two-horse race, then every vote counts, ladies and gentlemen, and the margins may...
So in
Yeah,
Haryana,
Omar
in
Abdullah
Haryana we have 80 seats that are reporting. Only 10 more seats to
Yeah.
be where the EVMs need to be opened and the counting needs to come from. So out of 80 seats, 53 to Congress, 21 to BJP. Will this reverse completely, where Congress comes down below 45 and BJP inches up to 35 or 40? Well, I think it's still too early to say, but that would be very, very unlikely at this stage.
Jammu and Kashmir 79 and the Congress inching up to 40.
Big
36
update
and
coming.
28.
I
Yeah.
have a message from the Huda camp. They are confident they're going to win at least 65 seats in Haryana. They are extremely confident. They also say that this is a classic case where the Congress did its campaign absolutely spot on in Haryana, giving their top leader, who's the most popular leader in Haryana, the charge of the campaign very, very early. The state president was also on the same page and was a close aide of Bhupinder Singh Hooda. This is the result when the party works cohesively in Haryana, and the results are there to show.
No, and
We already have
they
65.
won't be
Yeah,
65,
they
actually
will
go up to
actually
70.
Because
Yeah, and Rashid Kidwai is saying they will
Victory
better
has a
than
lot of
67.
fathers, as they say. Victory has a lot of fathers. People will all come out
No,
and
and
say,
they've said
"We-"
Jawan. No, they've got their narrative also right. They had 3 planks: Jawan, Kisan, and Pehlwan, and they've milked that on ground. And that's and
10 years
it's
of
Bhupinder Hooda has led the
anti-incumbency.
campaign. 80% of his candidates.
But
are
on Jammu and
his
Kashmir,
selection.
big update coming in.
Okay,
This
we've got
is from
news
Amit
coming through.
Shukla.
We've got news coming through.
BJP has deputed senior BJP leaders to the Kashmir Valley. They expected to already hold
Yeah,
talks.
Tarun
There's
Chok,
big meetings
Devendra
going
Rana
on.
have been deputed in
Yeah.
Jammu and Kashmir. Devendra Rana, clearly past master. He used to be he used to be with the National Conference before. Now he's with the BJP.
Past master? At what? What are you
in
trying to
electoral
suggest?
politics. In electoral politics.
Oh, like-minded. Oh, yes.
Electoral politics, and the BJP sending feelers in Jammu and Kashmir as the counting has now begun. Clearly, they believe that they will be in, and this numbers could change. This is when Tarun Chok and Devendra Rana have been deputed in Jammu and Kashmir at a time when the Congress NC is currently leading by 8 seats. It's leading the BJP
So if
by
you just
8
do the
seats,
math,
but the BJP is the single largest
Discount the
political party.
PDP from that math. You're already seeing 40 for the BJP. If all the others pitch in with the BJP, you're seeing that number at 40. You're seeing Congress NCP at 36. and you're seeing the PDP at 4. Assuming that the PDP will throw in its lot with their old partners,
so it's 40
that
and
puts
40.
them in 40. So it's a neck and neck.
It's neck and neck. And what happens? Let's listen into Omar Abdullah, and one gets the feeling that if the Congress NC get up to 40, 42 seats, a lot of these independents will also swing that way. They may not go with the BJP. But let's listen into Omar Abdullah.
वो ट्रांसपेरेंट तरीके से होना चाहिए और लोगों का जो मैंडेट है उसके साथ छेड़छाड़ होनी नहीं चाहिए। अगर लोगों का मैंडेट बीजेपी के खिलाफ निकला तो बीजेपी को फिर इसमें कोई जुगाड़ और वो इस तरह की हरकतें करनी नहीं चाहिए। राजभवन को और मरकज़ की हुकूमत को जिस तरह हम लोगों का फ़ैसला तस्लीम करते हैं, पार्लियामेंट में तस्लीम किया, आज जो भी लोगों का फ़ैसला होगा हमारे हुक्मरान जो हैं उस फैसले को तस्लीम करें, वही है।
कोalition पर कितनी कॉन्फिडेंस है? एक वजन है जो कोalition हुई है एनसी कांग्रेस।
अब कोalition तो हमने की इसलिए कि इलेक्शन में कामयाबी मिले और इंशाल्लाह कामयाबी की उम्मीद रखें।
जो कमेटी बनती है नॉमिनेशन की, उस पर किस तरह?
किस चीज़ की कमेटी?
जो 5 मेंबरों की होती है, जो एमएलए वगैरह।
देखिए, अब इस पे तो कुछ वकीलों ने अपनी राय दी है। हमारे एक वकील जिन्होंने नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस की भी, वो लद्दाख के मामले में आपको याद होगा सुप्रीम कोर्ट में हमारे लिए कामयाबी हासिल की, उन्होंने कहा है कि गवर्नर साहब को अपने आप पे कोई इख्तियारात नहीं है कि वो ये सीटें भरें। ये सीटें अगर भरी जाएंगी तो असेंबली कायम होने के बाद और हुकूमत की जो राय है, पार्लियामेंट में भी यही होता है। प्रणब मुखर्जी साहब प्रेसिडेंट थे, कांग्रेस के बने हुए प्रेसिडेंट थे, लेकिन जब नॉमिनेशंस किए तो मोदी साहब की हुकूमत के राय के मुताबिक किए, कांग्रेस के उन्होंने मेंबर नहीं चुने। तो इसी तरह बेशक गवर्नर साहब मरकज़ की हुकूमत के यहाँ नुमाइंदे हों, लेकिन उन्हें आइन का ख्याल रखना चाहिए और ये 5 सीटें अगर भरी जाएं तो यहाँ की हुकूमत जो बनती है आज उसकी राय के मुताबिक।
पीडीपी की कोई तजवीज़ मिली है?
नहीं
ना,
ना हमने उनका कोई तजवीज़ ढूंढा, ना उनके तरफ से कोई तजवीज़ हमें मिली है। आज नतीजे निकल जाने दीजिए ना। पता नहीं क्यों हम इतने बेचैन हैं कि इन्होंने क्या किया, उन्होंने क्या किया। अभी किसी के पास नंबर नहीं है।
सुना था महबूबा जी ने कहा वी आर रेडी टू प्रोवाइड सपोर्ट इफ नीड।
नहीं ना, वो नहीं कहा। जो मैंने सुना वो ये कहा कि हमने कोई फैसला नहीं किया है और हम नतीजों के बाद फैसला करेंगे। पता नहीं हमारे तरफ से इतनी बेचैनी क्यों है कि हम फटाफट कूद जाते हैं और कहते हैं ना कि हम जी बस उनके समर्थन का खैर मकदम करते हैं। उनका समर्थन ना हमने मांगा, ना वहाँ से मिला, ना फिलहाल उसकी कोई ज़रूरत है। नतीजे निकल जाने दीजिए, उसके बाद तमाम पार्टियां जो हैं बैठ के उन पे जो है अपना वो करेंगे एनालिसिस।
Sir, early trends are giving an edge to NC.
No, I don't go by early trends.
So Omar Abdullah somewhere telling his own father off, say, why are you so eager to go and welcome any kind of support or being offered, etc. Let them first talk about it, let the numbers settle. We have not spoken to anybody, nobody supported this basically with the question of the PDP. But look at the number, ladies and gentlemen. Congress NC is now at 40 seats, opening up a 11-seat gap. 11-seat gap with the BJP, 11 others and 5 with the PDP. So the PDP also is coming closer to what the exit polls had predicted, and the Congress NC is also coming in the range of what the exit pollsters had predicted. These are still early days, but will these leads consolidate? The BJP is at 22, similar to what the exit pollsters had predicted in Haryana. And look at the Congress party. That 55 seat mark, which was the average between 55 to 60, that's where they're already getting close to at 54, comfortably way past the magic figure and very, very comfortably in a position right now to form the government. Will these leads hold? Will they further consolidate in favor of Bhupinder Singh Hooda and the Congress party? We'll have to wait and watch in Haryana. And then this one, if this also happens and if this stays true, if they stay at 40, Rahul Shivshankar and Zakir Jacob, that means it's a Congress NC which will be
I've been saying this, the ceiling for Congress
40,
NC is 40, the ceiling for BJP is 35. Congress NC is at 40. If they have the support of the PDP, they've already reached the halfway mark of 45. So, like I said, this has to stay. This result has to hold. This lead has to hold.
Remember, the BJP tied
29
up,
has to reach 35.
The BJP tied up with the PDP with similar numbers. So don't forget.
But that scenario was different.
But PDP had 28. Now they have 5.
I know. I'm just saying that at that time also the BJP didn't have 30 plus.
It had 26.
It has 26. So when we talk about ceilings, the BJP could be in the game even with around 29 to 30 seats.
Now in this case, when there are 12 others, Now there are
plus
12
there are
others,
5.
and look at the lead. It's at 41.
That's right.
In a scenario like this,
That's
there is
right.
no place for the BJP in this because the Congress, NC plus the others itself will make up the numbers.
Yes.
there.
Yes.
That's
Even if
what's
you add
gonna
28
happen.
and 12, it doesn't reach 46,
Well,
which is the halfway mark.
I wouldn't jump to the conclusion that the others will go with NC and Congress. There has been a lot of bad blood between the others and the NC. Remember, the others are also looking to carve out their own niche for
Correct.
themselves. They want to actually not fall back on the so-called dynastic parties.
See, this Gupkar gang, Gupkar grouping will come together. PDP will come eventually. Thoda drama.
And don't forget
Umar
at the end
Abdullah
of
will
the
say,
day-
"You come on my terms." Mehbooba will say, "You come and invite me." There'll be some
At the
ego
end of the
battles,
day,
but
there is
eventually
a
they'll sit and have a cup of kava
It is
together.
very interesting that Rahul Shivshankar is saying that the BJP can do business with PDP, having dubbed them as anti-national and kind of thing, and that explains the kind of practical approach of political parties. You were a while ago you were saying that that it is sad
I wasn't
that
talking about the PDP, I was talking about the others. Even there, I agree with you, sir, that there is no like-minded party as far as the Kashmir Valley is concerned and
But
the
BJP
BJP
thinks
is
so.
concerned.
But
the
BJP thinks
BJP thinks so. And they'll have to do what they have to do. But my point is that it appears to me that if the Congress, NC and PDP form this government, there will be widespread disillusionment in Jammu.
Now, what is
Jammu
going
can't
to
be
happen,
left out of the
we'll
equation.
talk about once the numbers
Also,
settle.
the numbers don't add up,
Yeah.
Rahul. 28 and 12 adds up to 40. They're still 6 short. Whereas the others, 41 plus 5 is 46.
No, they will
So
be
the
8
number-
short.
Which is why I say that the BJP has to cross the threshold
Yes.
of 35 plus.
No, I understand.
For,
And
for
And the
mathematical
numbers
point.
have to add up to 48. Eventually, they
Eventually
have to
48,
they,
yes,
they have
correct.
to add up to 48. Even if, let's say, whatever happens and the 5 nomination members are from the BJP, it is still for 28 plus 12 plus 5. What is it? It's still 45. You're still 3 short. But look at the Congress and PDP will eventually come there. They're already at 46. They need only 3 more from the independent. They
My
don't need to even
point
depend
is,
on the nominations.
Can we discount a Jammu presence in government? And that's what's really
My point is whoever has got the numbers will decide. Now if this is how the voters have voted, then the Jammu voters have to think that they themselves have given away their opportunity. If they believe that the Congress will represent them well, because Congress's gains in that 41 will have to happen from Jammu. Now that means that there are people who have voted for the Congress in Jammu and they believe that the Congress will do what they believe they will do for them in Jammu. So that's possible. Anshul is joining us from the Congress office. Yes, Anshul.
So yes, the situation outside, in fact inside the Congress office out here at the headquarters is of celebrations that can be sensed over here. Already celebrations had started over here at the Congress party office. But since these are just the initial numbers that have come to the fore, the decision has been taken to make sure that the celebration does not start already, and hence the dhols and the sweets that have been brought over here, they have been stopped as of now. None of the senior leaders of the Congress party have reached over here. Just try and show you in the visuals around here. There are a few workers of the Congress party who have reached over here. They are expecting that they will get a massive victory today in both these states, be it Haryana or in Jammu Kashmir as well. Pawan Khera has just reached over here. Apart from him, there is no other senior leader of the Congress party who has come over here. So definitely there is a lot on stake for the Congress party over here, because the workers are at least expecting that in both these states they will have a massive majority. Will that happen? How much of that will turn into reality? That is something that remains to be
Well,
seen.
try and
But
get
the
a word
Congress
in from
party is
Pawan Khera when
absolutely
he
ready
finishes
to
speaking
start
with the
this
waiting media there, Anshul. But Aditya Surjewala is leading from Kaithal. So Aditya Surjewala leading from Kaithal, and the early trends show that the exit polls will hold. The early trends show that the exit polls will hold. Congress plus NC has got the numbers in Jammu and Kashmir in pole position to form or stake to form government there, and the Congress party is running away with the leads in Haryana as predicted by the exit pollsters. So far at about 8:50 this morning on Result Day Live, this is how the numbers look. It looks like the Congress plus NC in Jammu and Kashmir will be in pole position to form government, and in Haryana it will be the Congress party with a very comfortable majority, looking at going past 60 plus. The others, INLD now in the leaderboard with 3 leads.
Yeah, all three of them, Arjun Chautala, Abhay Chautala, all 3 of them are leading in their respective constituencies. Aditya Devilal of the INLD is also leading. So these 3 constituencies from Dabwali, which is of course in the westernmost part of Haryana, Arjun Chautala is leading and Abhay Chautala is also leading. So 3. So again, one of the other smaller stories, side stories that you will see in Haryana is the Jat vote which went to the newly formed party, the JJP, in the last election, a lot of that Jat vote is coming back home. Ghar wapsi ho rahi hai, it's coming back to the INLD. So I think you will also see, Aman, and you can weigh in on this, maybe a consolidation of the whole family politics within the Chautala family.
And how it's plotting is also against the BJP in their core areas, strong areas.
INLD had given a lot of tickets this time, whatever tickets it gave, a lot of them to Jat candidates this time, and we see all the three Chautalas also winning. See, the JJP is seen as a traitor by the Jat community because they tied up with the BJP post the last result. That is why we see this hammering of the JJP in this election. And I think the BJP did well by breaking the alliance with JJP because they knew it would have negative
returns. So for the first time, we're getting 90 out of 90 leads now coming in from
almost
Haryana.
90 out of, yes, that is why I'm saying the Hoodas are very confident of touching 65 by the end of the day because the results tend to consolidate more in the favor of whoever is leading. I would say even in this the belt, the Jat belt, and up to Sirsa, the Congress is expected to sweep it, and you can see the GT road belt, the Congress winning big time.
Clearly, it's winning. It's winning in Karnal, it's winning in Panipat, Sonipat. We're not getting much reporting from Ambala, but all the way down to Rohtak. So 3 or 4 districts here in this belt, the GT road belt.
If they're winning Karnal and Kurukshetra, that's a big thing because Manohar Lal Khattar comes from Karnal.
Let's check at the live results. Have the ballot boxes been opened? When I say ballot boxes, have the EVM counting, has it begun? In how many constituencies have we had at least 1 or 2 rounds of counting? We'll try and ask Avantika. Avantika, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi Anand. We're just keeping track of that, and these leads are just coming in right now. It's looking good for the Chautalas, as Zaka was also just mentioning. इकबाल जी बताइए कि हरियाणा में अभी और जितने भी अभी आ रहे हैं, ये जो नंबर आ रहे हैं, तो ये जो जितनी भी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज है, अभी आपको कहाँ से खबर आ रही है?
अभी लेटेस्ट कुरुक्षेत्र से भी अपडेट आ गया है कि कुरुक्षेत्र में 3 सीटों पे जो है कांग्रेस आगे लीड कर रही है। वहीं कुरुक्षेत्र की जो लाडवा सीट थी वहाँ से सीएम सैनी भी लीड कर रहे हैं, लेकिन बाकी 3 सीटों पे कांग्रेस लीड कर रही है। अगर हम बात करें चौटाला परिवार की, तो देखिए सभी चौटाला परिवार के सभी लोग जो है वो लीड कर रहे हैं सभी सीटों पर। तो वहीं पर अगर और दूसरी सीटों की बात करें
जी, so Arjun Chautala, Aditya Chautala, Abhay Chautala, let's also quickly get you an update from Jammu and Kashmir. जल्दी बताइए।
कुछ बड़े नाम अभी लीड कर रहे हैं, जैसे जम्मू कश्मीर अपनी पार्टी के प्रेसिडेंट अल्ताफ बुखारी छानपुरा से लीड कर रहे हैं, और जेकेपीसीसी के प्रेसिडेंट जो है तारिक हमीद कर रहा है सेंट्रल स्टार्टिंग से ही इज लीडिंग। अमर इज स्टिल लीडिंग बड़गाम।
And what about Mehbooba
Avantika, please let us know how many rounds of counting in the counting centers.
कितने राउंड के काउंटिंग हो गए हैं अभी तक?
अभी पोस्टल ही स्टार्ट ही हुआ है वहाँ पे।
पोस्टल ही हो रहा है।
स्टार्ट ही हुआ है।
It's just.
It's still the postal ballots. It's still the postal ballots. So early days, it's still the postal ballots. The EVMs have not yet been opened. We need to keep track of this, that the EVMs have not yet been opened. 2-3 rounds of counting. Will this further consolidate or will this change? We'll have to wait and watch. The Congress leading on 56, BJP on 23, others on 8, INLD at 3, 90 leads among the postal ballots only. Congress plus NC at 42 leads in Jammu and Kashmir, 29 leads for the BJP, so trailing by about 12 here in Jammu and Kashmir. And then you have the others which have got 12, and the PDP is leading at 5. These are still postal ballots. The first round of EVM counting has not yet started. We will alert you viewers the moment the first round of EVM counting begins in some of the constituencies. It may not happen simultaneously, it may happen across some constituencies. But if you look at this scenario, Amitabh Mattu is with us, Advaita Kala is with us. Are you willing to take these numbers with the postal ballot leads, or do you believe there could be a change on the leaderboard? Advaita Kala.
It's postal ballots. I mean, 2 words. Very, very, very early in the game. So nothing to really get too excited or too disappointed or too analytical about. So let's just wait.
But do you believe this could show an indicated trend, or this could change?
Hard to say really at this point, Anand. I think, the exit polls seem to be reflecting what's showing up on the leaderboard. But
but what's the conversation in Gurgaon?
In Gurgaon, the conversation is usually about traffic, so I don't think anyone's really tracking this, to be honest.
Right now it's one-way
but
traffic.
I'm sure there must have been some chatter in the veranda club.
Well, I think in Gurgaon, really, I mean, it's the usual. Everyone's always disappointed all the time. So it doesn't really matter. They don't come out to vote. So
I think it was under 50%, by the way, less than half of the constituency.
Did you vote?
Of course.
You did. Okay.
Of course.
Amitabh Mattuji?
I think the postal ballots seem to reflect the exit poll trends, and they reflect the kind of street gossip and the anecdotal wisdom which we discussed yesterday, especially in J&K. You have Congress NC 44, PDP 5 and BJP 29, that reflects, I would say, unlike Advait Kala, who I greatly admire as a great analyst, but who's sitting on the fence today, but I think I would completely agree with the postal ballots as reflective of a trend. But I could be wrong completely
So
by the end of the day.
you think Congress NC are now within short of, I mean, they're too short of halfway mark.
If the PDP decides to support them, then they're
well past, yeah, they're 49.
Yeah.
No, but PDP ke saath there'll be some other independents also, they will come through, and they don't even need to rely on the nominations now. That becomes a non-issue because 48 will be the number that
If
you
this
have to
number
have.
holds,
In
it's
this
game
scenario,
over
they already can
for the
cross
BJP.
50 comfortably.
Can we decide on who the nominees would be? Because I wanted to make that pitch yesterday that Aarti should be one of the people from the...
and I strongly recommend Amitabh Mattu should be the Lieutenant Governor of JNK.
That I don't mind at all.
So then both of you will have to dial not only the LG's office, you'll also have to dial Omar Abdullah. Because at the moment
there is a serious issue here, beyond the mirth around this, that there is a political debate happening in Srinagar about the nominees, about can the Lieutenant Governor nominate them before, or it has to be with the consent of the government. There's a Puducherry example that's been given out. But the BJP's president there has been saying that, look, we can do it irrespective of this.
The rule book.
Yesterday, a BJP leader from Kashmir actually identified the people who have been nominated.
Maybe he named those he did not want
But look,
to be.
I think if these numbers hold, the LG is not going to go against the sentiment.
And
he's not going to go against the sentiment. He'll probably doff his hat to the greater wisdom of the cabinet. You think, well, it doesn't really make a difference, does it? Does it even make a difference? It doesn't make a difference on the ground. I mean, that particular lead now, 45, you're seeing Congress and NC.
And they're at the halfway mark.
No, they are at the halfway mark.
Seems to have been stuck there now for the last 20 minutes at 28.
Yeah. With respect to the postal ballot. Now, Congress ex-Punjab CM Charanjit Channi is also in Jammu and Kashmir currently.
Right.
So he's been sent there, he's been deputed there. Early leads, obviously in favour of the Congress NC, 45 and 28. So one more and then they are past they are at the magic number. So that's what happens. In Haryana, they are way past the magic number. But yeah, BJP increasing its lead, 23, Congress slipping down to 56. One seat does not make a difference. 33 ka seat ka lead hai.
No, this is very clearly in Haryana, two-horse race.
Two-horse race.
And the Congress have...
So the postal ballots indicate the larger trend. You believe this is not going to be bucked, this is not going to change?
As in, if you were to take this as a straw poll, then the sentiment seems to be decidedly in favor of the Congress there.
Yeah, but more than what's going to happen in Haryana, if this holds in Jammu and Kashmir, then there is a huge, turn of turmoil that will happen. Saifuddin Zosa was there that day and he says they will give stability, but will they be consistent? This is Congress and NC will be stable. But the fact is that you are going to be at constant friction with the LG's office and at the centre. And how is that going to queer the pitch for Jammu and Kashmir after 5 years of trying to, set things right?
Full statehood would do that.
Huh?
Full state restoration of full statehood would do that.
Restoration of full
but
statehood will do
they'll have
what?
to still go back and amend the JNK Reorganization Act. I think the powers of the LG come from the JNK Reorganization Act, which of course has to be amended in Parliament.
It should be done as per aspirations of the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying that the procedure is it has to be done in Parliament.
No,
it can't be done
but full statehood at what cost is going to be another question that's going to be asked. At full statehood, are you going to go back and dial it? No, dial it back to what the scenario was in 2010 and 2014. Is that what you want? Is that what you're going to give?
It's not that what I want.
Is the Congress party? Is the Congress party? Is the Congress party? Is the Congress party in Congress party in power with the National Conference? Is it going to assure the rest of the people of the country that you are not going to allow Jammu and Kashmir to slip back into what it was in 2010-2014?
What he is saying is that essentially we want J&K as an equal state of the Indian Union, not special. 370 and the rest of it is history. You can't wind the clock back. But today it should enjoy the powers of a West Bengal or a Andhra Pradesh or a Tamil Nadu. And the
fair enough. So will the Congress party then say it out openly that we are not dialing back the clock back?
They should.
As the national party, will you want the Congress party to say we will not dial the clock back?
Which clock?
That is going back to Article 370.
Restoring 370.
No,
restoring 370.
Look, if you are talking about checking separatism, terrorism, etc., cross-border
No,
terrorism.
why are you not unequal? Are you saying that you would like
UT
the Congress Party to bring back
No,
Article
it's not for
370?
it is for the Congress Party to respond.
No,
What
no,
I'm
why
saying
aren't you
is,
responding?
If you
want equal status, if you want full status, then you should commit to Ek Desh, Ek Vidhan, Ek Samvidhan.
You are a journalist. You understand what qualitative difference it makes that, as fighting terrorism between Union Territory and a full statehood. Tell me that.
No, I am asking you.
No,
You are
what is the
also a seasoned
qualitative
journalist. Do you agree that this should be Ek Desh, Ek Vidhan, Ek Samvidhan? Do you agree that Jammu and Kashmir should be an equal state like West Bengal, not have its own separate constitution?
It is in constitutional scheme. It is very much there.
No. So I am asking you, do you believe, if you believe that it should have the same status as West Bengal, if you say it should have the same, I am asking you, if you believe, like Amitabh Mattu said, it should have the same equal status as West Bengal or Karnataka, any other state, then it should have only one constitution and it should adhere only one flag. So then the Congress should say there is no going back.
So there is one constitution.
Agree or disagree?
As for, look, you are talking about 370. The similar concessions have been given to
No.
states.
Then don't talk about the same equality as West Bengal.
There's a difference here. There is a pre-1953 status.
Just one second. They've hit 46, which is the
halfway so that's the halfway number in Jammu and
mark,
Kashmir, the magic figure. So the Congress, NC in Jammu and Kashmir and the Congress in Haryana touching that magic figure. As far as the leads, the counting, the ballot boxes, when I say the EVMs have not yet been opened, EVM counting has not yet begun. The moment EVM counting begins, we will let you know. And I'm going to request our team and also the live result hub to let us know the moment EVM counting begins in some of the constituencies. So we'll just get an alert from Avantika.
I do have a question for the panel. If it stays at this 46, 27, 12 in Jammu and Kashmir and Congress NC has crossed the halfway mark, LG is duty bound to invite Congress NC? That's the law?
I mean, the single largest party, which should be the NC, and also as a pre-poll alliance with the majority, absolutely no-brainer.
Yeah, there's
and then Congress NC 46 means that Jammu has also voted for the Congress.
Shows, I mean, we need to look at
so the Congress's seats, Congress's purchase is from the Jammu region.
There are some blues.
Yeah, there are blues in the Jammu region.
Now,
so Congress's purchase is from the Jammu region.
Yeah, and you imagine that Jammu division includes Chenab, in which the NC might also have had.
Yeah, because there are some Muslim-dominated seats there also. So there looks like.
No,
this is not a result that the BJP would be very pleased about. In fact, as far as Jammu is concerned.
It's the people of Jammu and Kashmir, what they vote and what they choose. But the larger story is, are they choosing it under the constitution to respect the constitution and the tricolor and to be integrated, or once again go into that entire aspect, or let's go back that road and go back 10 years?
Anand, clearly,
respect.
No, one second. No, I'm sorry, but like snake oil salesman, a lot of promises were made to the public in Jammu and Kashmir, which can't be kept by the parties who are going to be elected. That under the present arrangement, you cannot bring back Article 370 and 35A. You cannot even restore statehood on your own. So let's be honest about what has been sold to the public of Jammu and Kashmir. Now you have a problem because you're going to come to power and you're going to say, well, we can't quite do it. So, we have to start looking for an excuse. And what is the excuse? Oh, we're not even actually an elected government in control of its own destiny, because you see the LG is overbearing and has too many powers stacked up behind him. So let's challenge that.
So this becomes a full statehood.
I'm sorry, but there has been
statehood has been promised by the BJP. No less than the Home Minister has said that.
I'm not talking about statehood. I'm talking about Article 370. And let's not pretend that Article 370 is a non-issue. Let's not pretend Article 370 is a non-issue.
Should be clarified, Rahul. You see, the elections in Jammu and Kashmir have been held as per the Indian Constitution.
Releasing separatists was a promise that has been made in black and white by both the political parties, the Congress and the BJP has not made that. One second, sir, let me finish.
As a potential nationalist.
One second.
Just now, Pakistani media, one of the first things they have seen the leads and what they have said. I think they have called for lifting of the ban on the freeing of Yasin Malik and lifting of the ban on Jammu Kashmir National Liberation Front.
And restoration of Article 370. And let's not pretend that Article 370 doesn't have a resonance.
That's the first conversation that's happening. That's the news break. Now you please tell me, should the Congress do that? Do you think Yasin Malik should be freed? Do you think JKLF should be, the ban should be lifted?
What I'm saying is, there was Prakash Singh Badal, Akali Dal, which burned, copies of Indian Constitution, AGP, similar thing they did in Assam, and they were brought in the national mainstream, and the BJP became, a partner. So this is a very welcoming thing that national political parties, you know, sort of engage and involve, you know, regional players and
Totally
become part of
agree with
national
you.
mainstream.
But
we cannot foreclose that.
Is that for moving forward, or is that for dialing
sorry,
it back?
there is a
That's the
fundamental-
question.
Human civilization
See,
lives on hope.
We are arguing the wrong point here, and I want to bring in Mr. Mattu. Mr. Mattu, there has to be a responsibility. Political parties go out there, they can promise you guarantees of this, that, the other, but there has to be a certain degree of honesty in your manifesto, and you have to be able to deliver, because this is a big debate. Should political parties be made accountable for the promises they make? This is a very emotional promise.
50 lakh rupees?
I'm talking about whatever it is. I'm
Are you
just
talking
saying
about 50
it
lakh
doesn't.
rupees?
This cuts across party lines, sir. It doesn't matter whoever is making the promise. They should be held to their promises, Mr.
Well,
Mattu.
yes, in an ideal, perfect world, you're absolutely right. Political parties must stand by the manifesto and the commitments made, but we know that some of the promises that are made are aspirational, and the voter is smart enough, especially the voter in the streets of Jammu and Kashmir, to recognize that none of these political parties, including the BJP, has the capacity or the power or the ability to now restore 370 in its pristine form or any other form. What you can ensure is that land rights and land alienation is not done, and that there is a certain proportion of government jobs which go to residents of Jammu and Kashmir, as Rashid Saab said, is the case of Northeast or Himachal Pradesh. But I don't think Article 370 was the main issue in these elections. The main issue in these elections was democracy, regaining power for elected members, and perhaps a signal that we are not being satisfied with the 6 years of Lieutenant Governor's rule. And if the Congress has made inroads in even the Jammu region, then that suggests that a dissatisfaction with the LG's rule, particularly, was evident even there.
EVMs have now been opened. Just now at 9:08 a.m. is the update. EVMs have now been opened and the first round of counting is underway. So now, from now onwards, it's round by round. Will these leads consolidate, or will there be a change based on the from the postal ballots to the EVM ballot boxes that they are opening? The first round of EVM counting has just now started across both Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir. That's the update that we are getting from Avantika. Yes, Avantika.
Yes, the EVMs have opened now. So the first round of counting is presently underway. The EVMs have opened at a few places. So now, you know, we are also going to keep a very close track on those numbers. शौकत बताइए EVMs कहाँ खुले जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में, आपको क्या खबर आ रही है?
मैम, उससे पहले मैं आपको एक बड़ी खबर ये है कि महबूबा मुफ्ती की बेटी इल्तिजा मुफ्ती बिजबिहाड़ा से लीड कर रही है। अभी ये हमारे पास आया है ताज़ा ही। उसके अलावा JKPCC के प्रेसिडेंट जो हैं वो लीड कर रहे हैं सेंट्रल स्टार्टिंग श्रीनगर से, और few places पे जो है EVM स्टार्ट हो गया है अभी काउंटिंग।
हाँ, so EVMs have opened now in Jammu and Kashmir, and I'll just quickly ask Iqbal as well. इकबाल बताइए हरियाणा में क्या सीन है?
हरियाणा देखिए सिरसा है, हिसार है, इन जगहों पे अभी EVM ओपन हो गई है, और अभी कई जगहों पे जो है देखिए अपडेट भी हमारे पास आने लगा है, और लगातार मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ जैसे विनेश फोगाट जुलाना से अभी भी लीड कर रही हैं लगातार, शुरुआती दौर से लीडिंग पे है। वहीं अगर मैं बात करूँ अगर सावित्री जिंदल की, वो भी देखिए शुरुआत से लीड कर रही थी, अभी भी लीड पे ही है, और बीजेपी भी कई इसमें अब देखा अनिल विज है अम्बाला कैंट से बड़ी कद्दावर नेता।
सिरसा and अम्बाला में EVMs अब खुल गई हैं, and that's also very important. They have the highest Dalit concentration, and we've seen this whole election and how important and significant the Dalit vote is going to be. Back to the studios, Anand.
Right. Thank you for that, Avantika. So EVM boxes have now EVMs are now being opened. First round of counting on in a lot of the assembly constituencies, and the numbers will start plotting and correcting themselves thick and fast. By the time we get to about 4 or 5 rounds, there should be certain candidates who would have opened up significant leads, but till the last round of counting, since it's assembly elections, it may just go right down to the wire. Some key race alerts: Gopal Kanda is leading in Sirsa and Haryana. Those the alerts come. Nayab Singh Saini continues to lead from Ladwa. Savitri Jindal continues to lead. Aditya Surjewala, Randeep Surjewala's son, is leading from Kaithal in Haryana. We also have Savitri Jindal, who continues to lead from the time the first postal ballot numbers started coming in. Abhay Singh Chautala is also leading from Allahabad in Haryana, and we also have Digvijay Singh Chautala. He is leading from Dabwali in Haryana. So the Chautalas is going towards INLD. Aarti Singh Rao, Ateli, Haryana. So Haryana map plotted on the wall. Yes, Saka.
Dushant,
Anil Vij leading.
Dushant, last I checked, was trailing. So which means the JJP vote, they got 10 seats last time, largely the Jat vote, that is now 0. The JJP is 0. whatever Jat vote there is, which is anti-Congress, anti-BJP, is going to the INLD. So Abhay Chautala, Arjun Chautala, and also Mr. Devilal's grandson, all three of them are leading. These are the three seats from Dabwali, where Aditya Devilal is leading. Arjun Chautala is leading from Rania, and then from Ilanabad, Abhay Chautala is leading. There's also Gopal Kanda, who I think was a minister in the previous government, independent. He's also leading from the constituency of Sirsa. So that belt seems to have gone vis-a-vis the INLD. So I think one of the side stories, of course, the main headline is that the Congress is sweeping Haryana. The side story is part of the Jat vote, which went to Dushyant and the JJP, which was a newly formed party 5 years ago. That has now gone back to the INLD. I wouldn't be surprised if I see some kind of closing of ranks of the Chautala family, and instead of having two parties, they eventually fold into one. But we'll have to wait on that. There are also 7 independents who have also are in the lead, including the likes of Savitri Jindal. But I think the big picture as far as Haryana is concerned is Congress is leading in almost all the regions of Haryana. They're leading in the Ambala belt in the north, they're leading in the Karnal, Kurukshetra belt, again in the north central part. They're leading in Rohtak, obviously that's the guard of the Hudas. They're also leading in the south, in the new belt, which borders Rajasthan. So clearly, you know, the BJP's strongholds, as it were, urban centers and this GT corridor belt, in neither of those two centers, the BJP seems to be leading. We don't have enough in Bhiwani Mahendragarh, of course. The BJP seems to, at least in the urban pockets, couple of seats there. But in the Jat belt here in Sirsa, in the westernmost part of the state, whatever movement happened to the JJP back in the 2019 election, that vote seems to be coming back to Abhay Chautala and to the INLD. Quick word on Jammu and Kashmir. You can see the map populating in the upper reaches. It's dark blue for the National Conference, in case you're wondering the color combinations. Dark blue for the National Conference, light blue for the Congress, saffron of course for the BJP, and light green for the PDP. So 47. They've gone past the halfway mark, Congress NC. A large number of the dark blues are in the upper reaches. It's in the Kashmir Valley. Couple of light blues in Jammu. I can see one seat here in the Rajouri Poonch belt as well. PDP also opening its account in the Kashmir Valley. So clearly, I think it's as Rahul was arguing a moment ago, it's similar to what we saw in the last election, except that the BJP's seats, a large chunk of them, are coming from Jammu, no doubt about it. So there will be a larger proportion of BJP MLAs from the Jammu belt and a larger proportion of Kashmiri MLAs from NC as well as Congress, and maybe some from the PDP as well. 5 is what we're showing right now. Even the others, again, you're seeing, we don't know which parties they are. We'll break that down for you, but there are 10 others. I can see 2 constituencies here in the upper reaches. There's one here in Jammu. But it seems like, you know, it's consolidating more and more in favor of the Congress NC. It was at 45 a few minutes ago. Now it's gone up to 47. I think there's one seat that's oscillating between an independent and an NC candidate. So that will again sort of consolidate in that direction.
Yeah, and we'll have to also see Haryana. In Haryana, what's happening is that the Congress has slipped 2 seats, BJP has gained 2 seats, but still a 30-seat lead. It's just the early rounds of counting of the ballot boxes or the EVMs that's now begun, ladies and gentlemen. But as of 9:15 this morning, this is how the scenario is. An hour and 15 minutes into counting, the Congress leading in 55 seats in Haryana, the Congress plus NC leading in 47 seats in Jammu and Kashmir, and in both places they seem to be comfortably placed to form government or stake claim to form government. Now, is there a twist in the story as the counting continues, or as often that happens in the recent past, will these leads settle where now there you go, Congress slipping another seat in Haryana, BJP picking up to 26. So is there some drama there? We'll have to wait and watch over the course of the next hour and a half. And is that drama enough for the Congress, for the BJP to pull up 20 seats away from the Congress and to try and form government there in Haryana? Or is it just that the Congress has a few nervy moments and then but it still remains comfortable as it leads, as it sees right now? Will there be a twist in the story as more of the ballot boxes are counted? Will the leads open up further in favor of Congress NC as they have just done now? Again, 48 and 26, one seat oscillating. We'll have to wait and watch. Let's take it to our guest, Nalin Mehta. Is it based on your estimations, or is there a twist in the story? Postal ballots are done. Now it's the ballot boxes which are open, EVMs that are open.
So usually, Anand, there's not much to read in postal ballots. So physiologically, one shouldn't read that much into it. However, what the projections are currently showing at the moment is very much in line with what the exit polls have been predicting.
See, Haryana numbers are changing. See, the Congress has slipped from 57 47 to 52. BJP has gone up to 28. So they seem to be changing with the EVMs now being counting, and as and when rounds are increasing. Yes, Nalin, please continue.
No, so if you look at the J&K number, BJP is 25, which is pretty much in the range of what the poll of the polls predicted.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 25 to 30 for BJP. BJP, yes, it is picking up a little bit in Haryana, but in general, the trend line is pretty much on par with what our reporters have been telling us.
In this current scenario, Congress NC does not need anybody. At 52 leads, they don't need anybody. They just can go ahead and stake claim to form government without any of the others involved, and that means that they have been able to push a narrative on ground which has worked. Now, whether it is selling snake oil or if it is something else, but the fact is, this is a huge responsibility on the shoulders of the Congress and the National Conference, because how they conduct themselves in Jammu and Kashmir and what they do will have an impact on how they are perceived across the country.
And may I say, Anand, that between Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir, what happens in Haryana has a huge ramification for politics in the Hindi heartland. Haryana has generally been outsides in its political influence compared to its size. But what happens in Jammu and Kashmir has huge ramifications for globally. It's the most watched election globally from India at the moment, because after 370 and so on, whoever comes to power, if it's NC and Congress, perhaps with PDP support, the actions they take will be watched very closely.
No, the other thing is, the story is that this election is not doctored. If this is the mandate of the people, the biggest story that goes across is that this is a democratic process and the people have been free to choose. Now, what the ramifications of that for us as a country are, that's a different story. Yes, Rahul, Shivshankar and
democracy khatre mein hai, bogie has now been buried once and for all, and that's why the Congress realized that there were going to be diminishing returns from that particular plank. So what do? We pivot towards whether Dalits are getting their due, whether the castes are getting enough representation. That pivot was done about 6 months back, and the Congress, whether it is in Jammu or it is now in Haryana, it is getting some amount of traction by playing that card. Look, the BJP in Jammu and Kashmir was hoping that in Kashmir, the vote would splinter in fact across the various little dynamics that they had sort of cultivated demographically. They had talked about Bakkarwals, they had talked about several other communities, the Shias, the Sunnis, this, that, the other. There was a hope that a monolithic vote will not consolidate behind one or two political parties. It has. That experiment has failed. In Jammu is what is very surprising, because one would have expected in a polarized situation like this, specifically on communal lines, because that's how at least one side of the fence viewed this particular election. Even there, the BJP has not made inroads by consolidating the Hindu vote, which means that it has to really look very closely at the strategy that is employed.
So, Advaita Kala, one second. Let Advaita say.
I think if this holds and the Congress comes to power along with the NC in Jammu and Kashmir, then really the argument that they've been making across the country, that they stand for the, in defense of the Indian Constitution, is something that they'll have to prove in Jammu and Kashmir when they are part of government, because the Indian Constitution, whoever comes to power, should be supreme. And let's see if they're able to deliver on that.
No, let's see. I mean, to say that the Congress and National Conference have to prove their nationalist credentials in J&K is, I think, it's something that's unthinkable. They've always been part and parcel. The national flag has been in Srinagar, in Kashmir, because of National Conference and the Congress. Long history, decades after decades. So there is, I think, it is on this day we must respect, the mandate. I think we must also ponder over this fact that how BJP's strategy has boomeranged in both Haryana and in Jammu and Kashmir by plotting, having so much faith and trust in others. The others haven't delivered. You look at this kind of alliance politics that were there, JJP and Chandrasekhar Ravana's party and INLD and Mayawati's party coming together. They have not done well at all. So BJP had 5 years from after this, abrogation of 370.
In Haryana, something seems to be happening, because Congress was upwards closer to 60. Now it's down to 50, and BJP was at 20.
It's academic.
No, it's academic. But I think what is also, I want to show it on the map, because you remember about half an hour back we were saying in all seats in Sonipat and Panipat the Congress was leading. The BJP is managing to wrest some of that back. So which means, yes, as Rahul says, it is academic. But at the end of the day, look, now it's 30-50.
Yeah.
It was 60-20, half an hour ago.
Yes.
So I think, I don't think the story in Haryana has been written off just yet. I think
are you
there is
saying
still,
Bihar is happening?
There,
Are
no,
you
I don't
saying
think
Bihar
Bihar
is
is happening because I think the scale is quite
an
wide.
hour ago, we thought Jammu and Kashmir will be interesting and it could be a humdinger. It just seems to be changing, and Congress NC seem to be running. Now we've just got updates now. Omar Abdullah leading from both Badgam and Ganderbal, Sajjad Lone leading from Handwara, Ravinder Raina is actually trailing from Naushera, Iltija Mufti is leading from Bijbehara. Yes, Avantika. Avantika, can you hear me? Go ahead, please. Okay, we'll try.
Big news coming in. Big news coming in. BJP chief from Naushera. I mean, Ravinder Raina was facing an uphill task, but he's trailing as well. तो रविंदर रैना तो बहुत कॉन्फिडेंट थे that he's going to be winning, but he's trailing right now.
उसके लिए अमित शाह ने अलग से भी रैली की थी लास्ट में, तो अभी वो ट्रेल कर रहे हैं, वहाँ से एनसी का कैंडिडेट आगे हो गया है, अराउंड 3000 वोट से उसकी अभी लीड हो गई है.
और सजाद लोन वो भी
सजाद लोन कंटिन्यूस.
सजाद लोन from Handwara is leading right now. Omar Abdullah is leading from both.
But Sajjad is trailing from Kupwara.
Okay.
Sajjad Lone is trailing from Kupwara. Okay.
All right.
Iltija Mufti is leading.
Well?
Yes, Umar is leading from both the seats.
Okay. All right. And Iltija Mufti?
She is also leading.
All right. So it's looking good, at least for Mehbooba Mufti's daughter. And आप बताइए इकबाल क्या हो रहा है
हरियाणा में? देखिए अभी जो है थोड़ा सा डेटा चेंज हो गया. यस, चेंज हुआ है और अभी जो है थोड़ा सा रुझानों में भी परिवर्तन हुआ है. तो ये देखिए इसमें कई जगहों पे अभी कॉल्स जो आई हैं कि बीजेपी अब थोड़ा सा कई जगहों पे लीड करने लगी है, तो ये एक बड़ा बदलाव देखने को मिल रहा है. अगर हम बात करते हैं कि भिवानी में भी बीजेपी लीड कर रही है ना. अगर हम बात करें पंचकुला में भी इंडिपेंडेंट कैंडिडेट लीड करने लगा है. उसके अलावा से करनाल में भी बीजेपी जो है अब लीड कर रही है. ऐसी कई सीटों पे जो है वो थोड़ा सा रुझानों में थोड़ा चेंजेस हो गया है.
So Anand, as you can hear him saying that there's been a sudden change in the numbers, and I was just hearing you and Zaka as well. बताइए जल्दी बताइए.
Iltija Mufti is trailing, NC candidate Bashir Biri is leading.
Okay.
So, Iltija Mufti is trailing in Bijbehara.
She's trailing now.
So Iltija Mufti is trailing. So the National Conference seems to be running away with the numbers as far as the Kashmir division is concerned. Jammu seems to have moved away from the BJP and is looking towards the Congress party. Out of the 43, BJP is leading only in 23. I'm assuming that largely most of the BJP's leads are in Jammu. But the Haryana story, wow, 32-47. The gap is just now bridged to about 15 seats from about a 30-seat lead. It's just corrected itself.
Well, we don't know what pockets this result is coming in.
I'm just saying the map color is being plotted.
No, I'm saying which rounds and which areas within constituencies. There could be pockets where there is support for the BJP. So I think we'll have to wait for a couple of more rounds.
This itself then says that this could become far more exciting as the rounds get increased.
What this tells you, sorry, I'm being very facetious, that the postal ballots were rigged.
Anand. So, look, it's still very early to read a trend in this because it is going to fluctuate a lot in the next half an hour or so. But one thing that is the Election Commission website is currently showing, when you look at vote shares of the seats that we're seeing leads off, the vote share, the Congress vote share at the moment is 43.7%.
Wow.
And the BJP vote share is 6.56% for Haryana. Now, if that's correct and if that trend holds, that means the Congress has gained 1% from where it was in the 2024 Lok Sabha election, and the BJP is.
No, what it also tells you, Nalin, is that this is actually only a two-horse fight.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, the Congress vote share would have been down to 37, 35.
Yeah, not just the two-horse fight that the Congress has been able to hold. It's been able to hold and further consolidate its Lok Sabha vote share, whereas there has been an erosion despite course correction for the
let's be honest, in the Hindi heartland, even when the BJP has lost in Rajasthan or even in Madhya Pradesh, which it did, and other states, it hasn't fallen and collapsed. So I think you will see the BJP ending up within 2 or 3% or even 2% of what it has performed as far as vote share is concerned, but the seat shares will open up because clearly the Congress vote has consolidated for it.
Now the gap's opened up again to 18
that's
seats.
Right.
So 31 and 49, that's what. So this is changing quite often.
Couple of the, if you just look at the region wise, again, I go back to that whole belt, the GT corridor belt. Now in the Jean City seat, the BJP candidate there is leading. In Safidon, which is the neighbouring seat, again the BJP candidate is leading. In Rohtak seat, in Rohtak city seat, Rohtak, which is of course the Gad of the Hudas. In the Rohtak city seat, a BJP candidate is leading. In the Karnal seat, the city seat, again, Sonipat, it's the BJP's Kavita Jain who's leading. In the neighboring seat of Rai, again, the BJP is leading. So the BJP seems to be, holding on to its urban fortresses in this whole belt, which is Sonipat, Karnal, Kurukshetra, all the way to down to Panipat. Couple of seats here in this Bhiwani Mahendragarh belt as well. Really, where the Congress is running up the numbers is really in the rural pockets. So the agrarian distress, the farmers, what happened to the farmers, the treatment meted out to them, that seems to be very resonant as far as the rural voters are concerned, and the Congress seems to be gaining in the rural parts. As far as the urban pockets are concerned, the BJP is not getting washed out there. In fact, the strength of the BJP is coming from those urban pockets, like it happened in 2019, where, the reason why they got to 40 was because of urban seats like Panipat, Sonipat, the Rohtak city seat, and eventually going up all the way to Ambala. So whether or not the BJP holds on to those urban seats, or whether the Congress can breach those urban seats, again, this could very well change in the next hour or so. But at one point, we were looking at 60 seats or 65 seats. It's not looking like a 65 seat win for the Congress as of this moment. But like I said, in an hour, things can change.
Yes.
I think if this is still good evidence and you've gone from the postal ballots to the EVMs, suggests that in Kashmir, instead of the vote being fractured, it's consolidated around the NC Congress and really the NC with a few pockets. Sajjad Lone might win in the north, Altaf Bukhari in Srinagar, and Iltija and Wahid Para in the south, but really a consolidation in favor of the NC, while the Jammu vote seems to have splintered.
So again, interestingly, the JKPC, the People's Conference, is actually leading in 3 constituencies. Sajjad is leading in Handwara, in the neighboring constituency of Langate, which is, I believe, Engineer Rashid hails from Langate. Again, it's the People's Conference candidate who's leading there. You have one more seat which I had seen, which is
would be in the north itself.
Yeah, in the north, this constituency, which is Patan. Again, it's Imran Ansari.
Imran Ansari. Sajjad Lone's the PC is assured of at least 2 seats, which is Imran Ansari from Patan, which is a Shia-dominated constituency, and Sajjad's own constituency of Handwara. He should win Kupwara also if he's lucky.
There are two other independents. I just want to quickly run this. Satish Sharma in Cham. I believe he was a rebel. Satish Sharma, he's now contesting as an independent. He's leading in a seat called Cham. And there's one more constituency. Again, this is in the, it's an ST in Jammu, in the ST reserve seat of Tanamandi. A candidate called Muzaffar Iqbal Khan, an independent, is leading. So these are the independents. Let's just take a look. All right, from Bani, Dr. Rameshwar Singh, independent, is also leading from Bani. And there is this one seat I just want to see from Kulgam. Mohammad Yusuf Tarigami is of the CPM.
What would be interesting is to find out if Engineer Rashid, his party AIP, and the Jamaat, who has put a proxy independent candidates, whether they are winning any candidates.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, because the numbers are changing in Jammu and Kashmir too. The numbers are oscillating and fluctuating even in Jammu and Kashmir, not so much. But yes, it was 55 just a short while ago. It's come down to 53. It went down to 51. Now it's gone up to 53. So with each round of counting, and in some of these constituencies, the others, BJP and National Conference, it seems to be fluctuating, and the PDP seems to be losing ground to the National Conference. That's what's happening. The seats that the PDP had lost was leading about 5 or 6 seats. It's all gone towards the National Conference. The BJP now from 21, it's gone up to 24 seats. Now will it consolidate further? We'll have to wait and watch. But this scenario, this was a 30-seat lead that had been opened up by the Congress party. It's now come down to 16 seats. Is there a further twist in this story as more rounds are counted? We'll have to change. We'll have to check. BJP chief of Jammu and Kashmir, Ravindra Raina, is trailing from Naushera at this point. That's what we are given to understand. So he's trailing. There are other leads that are that's the update of Ravindra Raina, who's trailing in Naushera. Some of the other key race alerts, we'll quickly call some of the others. Narinder Singh, RS Pura, Jammu South. He's currently leading. He's been in the lead for a while now, so from the time the ballots were, the counting started this day. Sophie Yusuf, he is of the BJP, he's trailing, and same Bijbehara seat, Iltija Mufti is also trailing. Mehboob Beg is leading in Anantnag of TDP.
Anand, what will be interesting, if you should look at the map, is what about the Hindu-dominated seats in Jammu?
You can see it.
Who is winning in those?
It's the BJP that there's the
Is
all
that the
saffron sort of patches are in Jammu. The entire belt is Jammu.
Kathua, Samba, Udhampur, these are the ones that you need to focus
The
on.
entire belt is dominated by
now there you go. They lost one more. One more went away.
There are 43 seats.
Yes.
And the BJP is leading in 24. So what's happening in the other 20?
What is happening in the other 20?
The other 20 will go to the Congress party. Right?
No, but
just the Congress or it will be independent.
Which are these
Congress
seats?
or the independents?
This is anecdotal. I mean, I want to see it actually on the map to understand.
Rajori, Punch and the Chenab area.
Because the Prime Minister has been stressing on this whole business of batenge to katenge. I mean, I'm just bringing in the larger, the narrative that has been built up by Yogi, the RSS, the Prime Minister, and they've been talking about batenge to katenge. Is this making any impression on the voter on the ground? And that's why I was talking about, what about the Hindu-dominated seats in Jammu per se? Where have they gone? How are they voting?
So the BJP has currently got 24 seats. I think 20 out of those 24 seats are coming from Jammu.
Right.
4 are coming from the other belts. I just want to run through some of the quick constituencies. From Chenani, the BJP candidate is leading. From Udhampur West, the BJP candidate is leading. From Nagrota, the BJP candidate is leading. From Aknoor, which is an SC reserve seat after delimitation, again, BJP candidate leading. Jammu North, Shamlal Sharma of the BJP leading. The Jammu City seat, I'm just trying to get that up, again the BJP. So the BJP's bulk of its seats are coming from, as Professor Mattu said, from the Jammu, Udhampur, Samba, that
And
belt.
this is the area that has been hit also by militancy in the last 6 months.
Correct.
Yeah,
so
but
clearly a polarization has taken
but
place.
But the fact is, for the BJP to really get into any kind of ask or state, it had to win at least 35 seats out of the 43. Yeah. They had to max out as far as Jammu. They've not been able to do that. See, they're actually 23
so which in Jammu are the seats where it has not done as well, or which have changed hands?
See, some of those are still plotting.
So Kathua, for example, the NC candidate. Kathua is now a reserve seat. The NC candidate there is leading. You have one independent from the Bani seat, Dr. Rameshwar Singh, again an independent. So these are 2 seats that the BJP used to have. It's flipped now. It's flipped to the...
the one caveat I want to add is that the BJP has never actually got more than 30 in Jammu. From the research that we've done, seats
It had 26
in Jammu.
Last time,
Yes.
That was the highest it's had.
Sorry?
26 last time was the highest.
So they've never got, I think there was one election where they did better than that. I'll have to just quickly recheck because I remember this.
But that is pre-delimitation.
No, I understand that. I understand that. But all I'm saying is that, look, some caveats. Has the Hindu vote really, you see, the question will be, because I'm telling you what the opposition will come out and say, that Hindutva is failing, that it's come down to bread and butter, the BJP doesn't have an answer for voters who are going to talk about bread and butter. So I'm just trying to understand what is.
What the data is showing us at this moment, and it's still early days, the BJP is at 23, which is -2 from last time.
Correct.
Now again, there's been delimitation, so we have to take that with a pinch of salt. The Congress is at 7, which is -5 from last time. So the BJP strike rate at the moment is 37.1%. The Congress's strike rate is 17.9%. The NC on the other hand is an 80% strike rate. So it's very clear that the BJP is retaining its stronghold in Jammu. The Congress is not really making inroads there, and I think the NC was miffed about it before the election, saying that the Congress kind
So it's not that the Congress is really pulling its weight, it's just that the NC seems to be, National Conference seems to be holding sway not just in the Kashmir division, but having an impact even in the Jammu division. And the overall consolidation of votes which should have happened in favor of the BJP post abrogation of 370, post whatever it claims to have done to balance the Jammu versus Kashmir divide, it's not manifesting as of now. It's not manifesting as of now.
And it'll be great if Professor Mattu comes in on this, but fundamentally, in my view, what's happening is in Jammu. Originally, what was BJP was always a Jammu party. It was never the Kashmir party, right?
Exactly.
That seems to be holding. Now the Congress had an opportunity here. It seems to have kind of let that go, at least in the Jammu region. But it's the NC that's pulling it along. But fundamentally, on the ground, nothing has changed politically.
I think Nalini, you're absolutely right that BJP has not expanded its electoral fortunes beyond the tunnel, Jawahar Tunnel, into the valley. It had hoped that some of the independents that it was backing insidiously or silently would make an impact. We'll still have to wait and see.
If you look at the arithmetic by what he's saying,
yes,
47 seats in National Conference in Jammu and Kashmir, 7 seats of the Congress party, So that's what's 55. So what's happening is that National Conference seems to have swept Kashmir. Right now, if the numbers for Congress plus NC is 55, that means out of 47, the National Conference is winning at least 40 to 43.
Actually, that number we'll have to look at because...
Yeah, but I'm just saying that it has to max out in Kashmir.
The disaggregation
if the BJP is holding ground in Jammu,
that's right.
it's got to max out in Kashmir.
How much NC is getting out of that 55, we'll just have to see.
Yeah. 51 seats is what the NC was fighting in. They're leading in 42
They're
out
leading
of 51.
in. So that's a huge conversion
42 out of
ratio.
51 they're leading in. Haryana is changing, by the way.
Yeah, Haryana big change. Haryana big change. It's just 9 seat difference now. 36 to 45. In the last 6 minutes that we spoke on Jammu and Kashmir, look at how Haryana has changed.
Haryana, and this will be a big one if these trends continue to hold. Now, look, I mean, let's be very, very careful. Only 2 rounds right now.
37-44. 7 seats difference now.
And this is the first time the Congress has actually come under the halfway mark in Haryana in about the last 1 hour, 10 minutes.
Yes.
So that will give the BJP a lot of hope. Who are the others? Let's have a quick look at the others in Haryana, because in case it comes to it, there could be a problem.
Savitri Jindal is one of them.
Yeah.
Savitri Jindal is one of the independents.
As Congress being the single largest, it will be invited to form the government.
As you bring up those numbers, there's another update from the Election Commission. The BJP vote share, less in line and tally with these seat share, is inching up. It's now up. It was 33% about 10 minutes ago, is now up to 37.2%. Congress is down to 41%.
So that's his 2019 vote share, 37 or 38. I think 37 or 38 it was. It went up in Lok Sabha to about 43.
Yeah, correct.
So and that was a tight election. The 2019 election was very tight. In fact, we know that the BJP tied up with the JJP. But that's what I'm saying.
Lead is 6 seats now. Lead is only 6 seats. 44 and 38. Lead is only 6 seats in Haryana. Dramatic change here. This seems to be consolidating in favor of the Congress NC. But look at this. A 30-seat gap that they had just about 25 minutes ago has now come down to just about 6 seats, ladies and gentlemen. Even as more of the EVMs are going to be counted, more rounds across the assembly constituencies. Yes, Avantika.
Oh, Anand, look what's happening in Haryana. I mean, expect the unexpected, when it comes to elections. It's just the gap is closing in. Or Iqbal ji, bataiye. I mean, Iqbal is also quite surprised. The BJP is taking a lead on many of the seats. Bataiye.
Yes, देखिए अभी बीजेपी ने काफ़ी जो है इम्प्रूवमेंट कर लिया पहले से. रेवाड़ी की दोनों सीटों पे जो है वो बीजेपी लीड कर रही है. वहीं अगर हम गुरुग्राम की बात करें, जो अभी वो वेट कर रहे थे हम लोग काफ़ी देर से, तो गुरुग्राम की सभी सीटों पे जो है वो बीजेपी लीड कर रही है ना. वहीं जो है अगर हम गुरुग्राम, रेवाड़ी और उसके अलावा भी देखें, कई जगहों पे जो है बीजेपी फिर से करनाल
तो बीजेपी ने काफी आगे निकल गए. वो 43-40 हो गया है.
यस. तो अभी डेटा उनका लगातार बढ़ रहा है. करनाल, कुरुक्षेत्र है. करनाल की 2-3 सीटों पे जो है बीजेपी अब आगे चलने लगी है. वहीं पर देखिए काफ़ी मतलब जो डेटा में देखिए परिवर्तन देखने को मिला है बहुत सारी जगहों पे. तो अभी देख पानीपत की सीट पे देखें महिपाल ढांडा जो है बीजेपी से वो लीड करने लगे, है ना. इस तरीके से कई जगहों पे अभी डेटा जो है थोड़ा सा चेंज हुआ है.
Right, so Anand, that's the update.
Yeah, big update here. Even as there is a round of snacks that's come in while we were at the live result hub into this. Look at the seat differential. Only 3 seats.
There's snakes there.
3 seats.
Snakes and ladders.
Just 3 seats. Snakes and ladders. Just 3 seats, ladies and gentlemen, separates the BJP and Congress in Haryana. How has this happened? Which are the places? Gurugram. Just now at the live result hub, Iqbal was telling Avantika that BJP is leading in all the seats in Gurugram.
So I think it's in the urban pockets. So from Sona, from
he's got it all on the map now.
Yeah, it's all on the map on Gurgaon, in Sona, in Badshahpur, in Pataudi. So this is again, from Rewari. So this southern part of Haryana, you go all the way up to Bhiwani, Mahendragarh. Mahendragarh seat also, Kanwar Singh of the BJP is leading in the Ateli seat. This is Archie Singh Rao.
That is the Ahirwal belt that you are talking about.
This is the southern belt.
Yeah, this is the Ahirwal belt, which means there's a counter consolidation perhaps against the Jats.
Faridabad, all the way up to Bhiwani, Mahendragarh.
Yeah.
This belt seems to be backing the BJP. It's not just there, it's also here in this Ambala corridor that we keep talking about, the GT corridor that we keep talking about, in Karnal city, in Kurukshetra city, in Panipat, Sonipat city, the urban seats, the BJP seems to be holding on to its strongholds here. And these 2 regions, if these 2 regions hold, that's why you're seeing a much tighter fight. The Congress, on the other hand, is still consolidating in the rural parts. In the Sirsa belt, earlier you had 3 to the INLD, now it's 2 to the INLD. Gopal Kanda seat also the Congress is now leading. So I think in the Sirsa belt also you will see a lot of the Jat vote coming back to the Congress and some to the INLD. But I think the urban pockets, whether it is in the Gurgaon, Faridabad, Bhiwani, Mahendragarh belt in the south of the state, or whether it's in this GT corridor all the way from Ambala.
So Zach, if you're going to see a surprise, then we'll have to keep an eye on the Jat Sikh belt, which is
on the Jat vote.
There's a Jat Sikh belt.
No, it's just one seat difference. Just one seat difference. 41-42. BJP and the Congress 41-42. Look at the leaderboard at the bottom, ladies and gentlemen. And interestingly, INLD and the others, whichever way it goes, Congress plus INLD is 44 seats, BJP plus the others is 46 seats. So now this halfway mark right above us on the screen, if you look at the top band, let's just look at the leads. Now everybody, both of them are within striking distance of the magic figure. Look at this. Both of them are within striking distance of the magic figure. Now what happens here? Over the next 15-20 minutes, this could change dramatically. And if it changes dramatically, then whose story is it to sell? And what happens to the INLD? What happens to the others? Who are the others? Are the others leaning towards the BJP who are leading currently? Are the others who are leading currently?
So one is Savitri Jindal, we know in the Hisar seat. The other two, I'm just going to check. There's a Gannor seat where Devendra Kadian, I don't know if he's a BJP rebel, but this is a Jat-dominated seat. This is a seat that the Huda faction should have won, but they're trailing there. Rajesh June, another independent candidate, is leading from Bahadurgarh. And then you have this northern seat, which is Kalka, which is the first constituency. Gopal Sukumaraj, again an independent candidate leading. So these are the five, which is down to
this will be a big slap in the face of the LOP, Rahul Gandhi, because if the party has to prove that what they did in the Lok Sabha election was not a flash in the pan on the back of some people say unscrupulous political messaging, then this election will determine whether
more than what happens with the Congress party, because
is actually being able to lead the party.
Is it tired and retired for Bhupinder Hooda if this happens? Now,
it's not about Bhupinder Hooda, please, because this was a decision that was taken by Rahul Gandhi, who is now completely in charge of the Congress.
Rashid Kidwai said it is Rahul Gandhi, so we'll stay back. But I'm just also saying, look at the BJP clawing back. If the BJP has clawed back between the 4th of June till the 8th of October, 10
years of anti-incumbency, my friend.
Between the 4th of June and the 8th of October, if they have clawed back, now how is it? Advaita Kala, are you perked up a little more now in terms of what's happening in Haryana?
The only reason I wasn't perked up was because I'm not a morning person. But, I did tell you all that those were postal ballots, and Haryana, I think, will not be that bad.
Now we've got Ashok Gehlot, we've got Bajwa, they're all heading to Chandigarh.
BJP 42, Congress 41.
Yeah, Congress and the BJP for the first time in Haryana in lead. For the first time, the BJP is leading in Haryana. For the first time, just about at 9:43 a.m., the BJP leads for the first time in Haryana. Zaka's called that out here at this point, that the leads have changed. What a significant change in fortunes and the leaderboard as far as Haryana is concerned. From the postal ballots to the few rounds of counting that have now happened of the EVM ballot boxes, look at what's happening. BJP 42, Congress 41, right now closer to this magic figure of 46. It's the BJP.
Look, Zach has turned very quiet. He's turned very quiet. He's turning blue in the face.
I'm just watching the numbers as they come in.
Zach, let's have a look at the leaderboard, please.
The person who's been able to be as far as a centrist and not swing either way is right through our election coverage. I'll have to say that. Is this person on the magic ball, because he calls out the numbers and then stays as far as the numbers are concerned. But this must be a surprise to you too, because this is bucking what the pollsters predicted.
Yeah, none of the exit polls gave 42 to the BJP. And I think it's largely coming from, like I said, two regions here in the south, which is Gurgaon, Faridabad, Bhiwani, all the way up to Mahendragarh. This southern urban belt for the BJP. And then, of course, this northern corridor. There's also a whole bunch here. This was not there the last time. So this Fatehbad seat where the BJP is leading. From Nalwa, the BJP is leading. From the neighbouring constituency.
Clearly, the CID also didn't quite get it right.
No, not just the CID. You have to call Tehseen Pulawala and the CID there. But in this case,
42 seats which the BJP is leading on. There are about 4 seats where it's sort of resting them from Congress as of now compared to last time.
Which ones are these?
It's actually showing +5. It's a +5 change from the last time around.
Yes, changing very fast. One of them is Ladwa, the other one is Israna. Soनीपत
लाडवा तो नायब सिंह सैनी लड़ रहा है ना, लाडवा का तो एमपी था वो वहां पर
लाडवा इसराना सोनीपत
आदमपुर
this is the first time he's fighting from there.
आदमपुर
And there is also Barwala, which was JJP last time.
Barwala.
So these are all gains for the BJP as of this moment. Prithla, which was an independent last time, and BJP is kind of ahead in that seat. So suddenly we are seeing gains on the leaderboard by the BJP.
So what is happening is, if I am to go by what Nalin is seeming to indicate, is that the
now 44-39.
Yeah, 44-39. Look
the
at
other vote is splitting.
Whoa, that's a 5-seat change, 5-seat shift. 44-39, just too short of that magic number is the BJP right now, and the Congress slipping to under 40 for the first time today.
This is a Bihar happening, but what it also tells you is that the Jat vote is not melting away from the BJP also. So there's a counter consolidation, and that's what we were talking about, Advaita, you and I, because no one else was sticking their necks out.
Something tells me.
Oh, right, okay. Now everybody wants to own the narrative.
We need to also, Aarti Tikku, keep an eye on the Jammu and Kashmir numbers. National Conference may slip below 50. For the first time, and the PDP is actually inching back, wresting back some seats. The BJP is staying solid, steady at 24, but there is a bit of an argy-bargy going on between the Congress NC and the PDP here. That's what's happening. There's an exchange, and and will this also correct itself in the later rounds? We'll have to wait and watch. But this is a huge twist. 44-39, and with about 2 or 3 of the independents, the BJP seems to be past that 46
this
number.
Is a reversal.
45 number.
I mean, this is a major indictment of the campaign. If this holds, it's too early again. If this, I don't know how many rounds we've actually had.
We'll check with Avantika and we'll get an idea of how many rounds are
for the Congress to lose.
And where all the leads are solid. You know, if there is a more than 1,500 to 2,000 margin of lead in assembly constituencies, that's significant. So let's try and understand with Avantika. Avantika can check with Iqbal. These leads, the way they have changed, are they very slender? Coming back to you, Rahul, in just a minute. Are they very slender margins, or are they solid leads?
Well, Anand, 2 rounds are already over. I mean, the second round is just about finishing now, but what a huge change in Haryana. I mean, even we are sitting out here completely surprised with how the numbers have changed so dramatically, and just within a span of few minutes. Iqbal here is sitting here, he's just telling me, Avantika, the BJP is taking a lead in just so many places. Everything has changed in a matter of just a few moments.
अब देखिए, अभी गुरुग्राम की देखिए 3 सीटें बीजेपी जो है लीड कर रही है, और अभी देखिए लाडवा से जो सीएम साहब हैं वो भी 800 करीब 800 वोट से।
ऐसे कौन सी सीट है जो जहां पर कांग्रेस लीड कर रही थी और अचानक से सब कुछ बदल गया और अब बीजेपी लीड ले रही है?
ऐसे पानीपत की भी सीटें थी, सोनीपत से 1-2 जगह पे जो चल रही थी कांग्रेस लीड कर रही थी, तो वहां से बीजेपी अभी लीड करने लगी है। राव नरवीर से गुरुग्राम का भी देखिए एक जगह पे जो है वो कांग्रेस लीड कर रही थी, लेकिन अभी 4 सीटों पर जो है वो बीजेपी लीड करने लगी है जी। तो ऐसे कई गुरुग्राम है या पानीपत हो गया, सोनीपत हो गया, इन डिस्ट्रिक्ट में कांग्रेस लीड कर रही थी, लेकिन अभी बीजेपी ने लीड पकड़ी। वहीं पे अगर और भी सीटों पे हम देखें, पंचकुला में भी एक सीट पे कांग्रेस देखे अभी लीड कर रही है और एक पे बीजेपी भी आ गई है
जी। सो इट्स अ नेल बाइटर, आनंद, इट्स अ नेल बाइटर, इट्स एनीथिंग कैन हैपन एंड वी आर जस्ट सीइंग दोस नंबर्स देयर। 45-38, कैन यू बिलीव इट? आई एम प्रीटी मच सरप्राइज्ड, बट एज आई हैव बीन सेइंग ऑल थ्रू आउट, दीस आर इलेक्शंस, एनीथिंग कैन हैपन। 2 rounds of counting are already over.
It was just at least a minute ago it was 40 and 44, 43. It's 45, so it's right at the halfway number. The BJP, ये अमिताभ मट्टू जी ने भिगोए बादाम दिए हैं. I'm just having some because this is going to be a long one, ladies and gentlemen.
On that note,
45,
and see, I told you, Congress NC is below 50, and the others have picked up. The independents have picked up in the Kashmir division. But look at this, 45. Are we going to see for the first time in the Super Tuesday coverage, Result Day Live, BJP hit that magic number of 46 for the first time on the leaderboard?
I like the
Are we going to see that?
Interesting point to make here.
Now, Super Tuesday.
Super Tuesday. We've been calling it Super Tuesday on top.
Super
Tuesday because the election is exciting now. It's not a one-way fight, and it's not there's some drama here.
The one group that is losing are the exit pollsters. For sure, they're losing. The exit pollsters in both places are losing.
See, my point is the next time around we won't get enough of exit polls to do polar polls. Nobody will do the exit polls.
Very interesting factoid on Haryana. As the game seems to be changing in Haryana, very interesting factoid. We've talked about the Jat vote and the BJP holding on to it. One of the seats where the BJP is gaining is Mulana. Now, Mulana has the highest scheduled caste population in Haryana, 35%.
Dalit.
Right? Dalit. Now, a lot of people are talking about how Dalit vote, and that bias, as a Dalit vote which actually hurt the BJP in 2024 in the Lok Sabha election.
So I have all the figures.
Is an indication, it's wresting it away from the Congress, and as of this moment, it might change later.
Well, Congress NC just wrested one seat from the BJP in the leaderboard in Jammu Kashmir. Haryana back.
Swung away from the BJP in the Lok Sabha election. That Dalit vote seems to be coming back in some measure, because the vote share of the BJP is the telling factor. The vote share is holding at about 38, 39, isn't it?
Yeah. But we will again say here, ladies and gentlemen, as of 9:51 a.m. on Tuesday, this Super Tuesday, coverage of Result Day live here at CNN News 18. It's just about the third round of counting that's begun on the EVMs. Third or fourth round in some of the constituencies. That's how it is. So these numbers can further change, or they can, but they've changed dramatically. So they can change over the next 20-25 minutes. Anybody who thinks they have called the election, or they think they've got the election already, numbers are there, they are making a mistake. It's not over yet. It's not over here also. It's not over here because there is a bit of an exchange happening here too. And there is a lot of drama happening here, and watch out for what the others are going to do, what the independents are going to do in their fight with the national conference candidates. Is this going to change in subsequent rounds of counting? We have to see how big are the leads. We'll have to wait and watch. 45-38.
Can we see the Dalit-dominated seats on the wall? Can we see some of the Dalit-dominated seats in Haryana on the wall, please?
If you look at the Kumari Selja factor, which is, again, a lot of it is from the Sirsa belt, there the Congress seems to be doing okay, 12, and the BJP is 9. But if you look at the reserved constituencies, and the point that you were making, Rahul, if you look at the SC seats, the BJP there is giving, it's actually the BJP that's leading. It's got 7, the Congress just 6. So which means that the BJP is doing better in the SC seats than perhaps it did even in 2019.
And do we have OBC seats here? Because if we can get a sense of the Jat versus OBC consolidation.
So here's the OBC seats. Let's take a look at how many seats. Again, the BJP 17-6. 17 out of 25 OBC dominated seats. The Congress only 6. And like I said, it's in this belt. This is all the way from Gurgaon, Ahirwal, Bhiwani, going all the way up to Mahendragarh. This belt, the BJP seems to have consolidated the OBC vote. 17 out of 25 to the BJP, only 6 to the Congress.
So let me just very quickly tell you, in the 2024 Lok Sabha, the BJP in this Ahirwal belt, just the Ahirwal belt, which is those seats, in the extreme corner, on the left corner, there you had a situation where the BJP had 6, the Congress had 4. In 2019, the BJP had 6, the Congress had 2. It's clearly the 2019 numbers are coming back in that area.
So the BJP is able to hold on, in fact, do better than what it did in 2019 in this belt, which is the Ahirwal belt.
But I'm very curious why the NCR and Mewat belt, which is this little corner, is not showing up.
Magic number 46 for the first time for the BJP in Haryana at 9:53 a.m. For the first time in Haryana, the BJP is touching the 46 number. They've got the magic number in Haryana for the first time. 9:53 a.m. on this Super Tuesday election coverage for the first time. 46 and 37. That's the story.
Super
how
Tuesday,
it's turned.
Super Surge, and Super Perked Up. Super perked up Advaita Kala. Advaita Kala, what do you make of this? Now,
come on. Of the Bigoya or Badam of Amitabh Mattuji to get you that energy boost.
She's the only one who
is not over. This is getting going. This is getting exciting.
I'm saying I need popcorn.
You need popcorn.
Not Badam. But really, I mean, this was what we were talking about yesterday.
With the exit polls.
We were assuming so much. Really, we were assuming too much about the fact that the Jat vote is consolidating behind the Hudas and the Dalit vote has moved away from the BJP, and there's huge anger against the BJP as far as the Jats are concerned. None of that is bearing out, and really I think that was an overestimation.
So Kidwai Saab, let's bring in Kidwai Saab, because I want to understand now from you, if this trend holds in Haryana, who should carry the can for this defeat? Is it the Hudas again, or Rahul Gandhi must be still insulated? What's your analysis?
I think I'm very clear in my mind. If there is a debacle in the sense that the Congress thought that it's winning Haryana and loses, and so it will be, of course, the blame has to be shared by Rahul Gandhi and of course the state unit, because Rahul Gandhi was micromanaging. All the talking points were there, Agniveer, Kisan, Pahalwan, all these things had nothing to do with the, so to say, state politics. So he was targeting Narendra Modi government.
So were they all non-issues then?
It appears to be, if this holds, but I think still eventually things would be different.
But Rashid, I have to ask you one thing. If this holds, or if the Congress does not get the numbers that the exit pollsters projected, is that the end of Bhupinder Hooda? in state politics in Haryana? Will he be retired by the Congress then?
Absolutely. I think it will be end of the road for Mr. Bhupinder Hooda, because there has to be 45 plus. If they are short of 45 plus, then BJP is going to form a government, because all the independents and Chautalas and all are going to come with the BJP. And we have seen in last election also, there was an element of surprise. I mean, the Congress did actually well at that point of time. Nobody was expecting, everybody was thinking the BJP will win. So Haryana has a history of, throwing surprise. But a lot depends on the vote share. If there is a 2% vote share in favor of Congress, then things would change.
Yeah, but the vote share
listen,
so far,
an hour back,
look like
to be fair, an hour back, Anand, we were talking about the Congressization of the BJP.
Absolutely.
We were talking about how Mr. Modi is losing his mojo, as Mr. Gogoi said yesterday, of the Congress party. We were talking about how development has become the bugbear, unemployment has become the bugbear of the BJP. This is the Hindi heartland we're talking about.
Outside of Uttarakhand, Delhi upwards, all of North was going to be.
That's right. This is the Hindi heartland we're talking about, where there is so-called distress.
47-36.
So what does this tell you?
So he's two clear of the halfway mark,
And
one
these are
clear of the
holding.
magic number.
These are holding.
Can I tell you
now.
one more
They're
figure?
holding.
Yeah, one more
The
figure.
strike rate for the BJP at this moment is 51%, for Congress is 41% in Haryana.
And this was the election that the Congress would lose, was actually was winning. It was for it to lose.
No, and not just that. If these hold, see, the whole story of 48-35, 48-35, so 3 clear of the halfway number.
If you're going to have a close contest, then that's a
and you can't just put this down to now bringing a Saini into the picture and this, that, the other. You can't just say that this is unalloyed from the performance record of the BJP. And that's why, Anand, I am very upset with what is going on in Jammu and Kashmir.
Yeah.
Because in 5 years, Jammu and Kashmir has not seen the peace that it has seen. People are going to the movies after 32 years. Shias are out on the streets celebrating their festivals after 37 years, my friend. And if this is going to hold because of fear-mongering, I'm sorry, then and I'm going to say it very openly, Jammu and Kashmir doesn't deserve this election.
You're welcome to your point of view. Let the results settle.
Actually questioning
let the results settle, hopefully.
In terms of historical parallels, I think in my memory, and I was a kid then, the 77 elections, Sheikh Abdullah was ailing and he fought against a united opposition. Jayaprakash Narayan, Morarji Desai, the Mirwais all opposed him. And the NC swept Jammu and Kashmir. And that was perhaps till this election, the most inclusive election and a benchmark for fairness. I would say this is a benchmark of fairness, inclusiveness, and that's where the Prime Minister and the government must take credit. As far as voting preferences go, Rahul, I wish I could be as cynical as you are, but then this is democracy.
That's not true.
You work.
I am not verdict in Haryana. My point is, the question that I want to ask you, Mr. Mattu, was the politics at that time as viciously polarized communally? Was there this constant fear-mongering as it is today? That's my worry. My worry is that a certain set of voters in this country are being told that the government at the centre is against their interests when the data doesn't seem to present that fact.
Ever since independence,
yes,
there's always been a degree of polarization, not necessarily in communal terms, but in terms of ideology.
Well, I'm talking about communal
some
terms.
correction,
but also
some correction.
Since 83, when Mrs. Gandhi,
some correction and consolidation happening. I'm
just there are a number of seats which the BJP is leading in, which it didn't have last time. Molana, Ladwa, Rohtak, Sonipat, Adampur, Tosham, Kalanor, Mahendragarh, Rewari, Ladwa. Many of these seats are reserved Dalit seats. And that is a real story.
So there is a counter consolidation that's happened the last time around.
They've got a seven seat increase from last time. BJP had 40 last time, they're now at 47. The Congress had 31, they've gained 4. Where have they picked up the seats from? The 10 seats.
Are you telling me that the Dalits are now supporting the person who wants to change
votes
the
are moving away
constitution
from
of India?
JJP.
The 10
Have a look
seats,
at this.
The 10 seats that the JJP has 0 right now. Those 10 have split between the BJP and the Congress.
The Dalits are supporting those who are changing the constitution of India to deny them their rights. Is that what is happening, Anand? I mean, this is what I'm saying.
Or have they realized the bluff, or have they realized that
People are rejecting cynical
non-Jat chief minister, 10 years for them was better than a Jat chief minister for them. So their lives were better off when it was a non-Jat chief minister at the helm rather than a Jat-led, Haryana.
That could bring in a point here.
Yeah.
Zaka has made a fascinating point. There was an assumption psychologically that in a two-horse race, the Congress would benefit.
Yes.
Zaka is pointing out that's not happening. When whatever the other parties are losing is going evenly to Congress and BJP. And I think we must point out, the role of the RSS in this. Because in the Lok Sabha election, where the BJP had a reverse, in Haryana it went down to 50% from 10 seats to 5 seats. A lot of it was because the RSS card didn't come out.
We should also talk about...
So I'll come to that in a second. I'll come to that in a second. In Haryana this time, the RSS cadre has gone out. So there seems to be a shift as a result of that. In Jammu, by the way, in Jammu as well, and I think Rashid is right, we should talk about Jammu. In Jammu was a lost cause about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
If the BJP is holding on in Jammu, maybe less than what they thought, but 24 seats they're holding on to. A lot of that is because in the last 1 month, a lot of the cadre has turned up.
Not just turned up. See, I think there has been a mending and course correction and also understanding and dialing down of the rhetoric within the BJP vis-a-vis the RSS. So a lot of the
but the story of the moment right now is Haryana.
But these are numbers.
Story of the moment
Before
is
we get
Haryana.
into all of those analytics, we have to ensure that tell our viewers that all rounds of counting are not yet over. It's not even up to the 5th round of counting. Things can change here. Things can change here, and it can change in favor of either of the entities involved in this electoral, because it's the ballot. It's the voter who could decide. But will they consolidate? Will they study? After the 5, 6 rounds, then will it further consolidate? Will there be a shift? We'll have to wait and watch. We'll see. Yes, Advaita Kala, Tom Vadakan of the BJP is also with us. We'll go to...
So that's what I want to ask Nalan. So Nalan, are you saying that the BJP still needs the RSS?
Absolutely it does.
Because that was the comment that was made earlier.
So two things. One thing
by the way, comment has been...
So let me say, this is an important point to make. One of the things that I had argued in the new BJP was that the BJP is now far bigger than the RSS. That's true. Its dependence on RSS was much less, but that never meant that the RSS, without the RSS, the BJP, it doesn't need the RSS. And JP Nadda made that comment before the Lok Sabha election. There was a lot of anger in the RSS as a result of it. We did see in several states where the BJP had reverses, there was if not non-cooperation, certainly not enthusiasm among the cadres. Right? UP was an example of that. Haryana definitely was an example, and there was disaffection. In the last 2 months, there seems to have been a shift in that attitude, saying, look, because the political equations have changed, and some of that result we are seeing here.
See, not just disaffection, I'll tell you, if these results hold, again, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it's very, very unlikely that this is going to be the scenario. If this remains the scenario, then the Congress has serious cause for worry. If this remains the scenario, then this could perhaps galvanize and rejuvenate the BJP cadre, which was looking jaded and flaccid, and perhaps the course correction internally within the BJP is working. We'll have to wait and watch. But if this remains the scenario, then we have other problems that we'll have to talk about going forward the road ahead. Will Mr. Omar Abdullah be far more amenable and ready to work with the central administration in taking the story forward, and will forget the electoral rhetoric of statehood lying, but stay with statehood and not going back to 370? Will that happen? If that happens, does that augur well that we have a collective administration and which works with the mandate of the people that is respected? How is the international narrative then going to be stitched if this holds? Or will this change in the next 3-4 rounds of counting? We don't know.
Anand, let's have a quick look at the Jat belt in Haryana. Let's have a quick look at the Jat belt
in Haryana. And if you just extrapolate what we see right now, Zaka, with 2019, where the BJP is gained or the Congress
is gained. So the Jat belt is almost evenly split. 4 gains to the BJP and 4 gains to the Congress. So the JJP, the INLD, between them, they lost 7 seats in this belt. Those 7 have evenly split between the Congress and the BJP, which, as you said, Rahul, I think in yesterday's program, that this assumption that the Jats are all en masse going to vote against the BJP, that's not bearing itself out.
I also said that the Vinesh Phogat factor, maybe people are reading too much into it, because there could be a consolidation amongst other Jats against her rise.
There are also counter narratives on ground
politics,
which we don't talk about on mass media or national media. There are counter narratives against what happened with Vinesh, and Vinesh's thing is that it was over with the June. She went to Paris. It was not that she was stopped from going to Paris. So how much of that works? She'll win from Julana as Julana.
She's leading. She's leading in
she's
Julana.
Leading. She may win from Julana.
She definitely wins.
But then if we compare it with the 2019 plot, 2019 result and this leaderboard, what do you think has the BJP retained more and has it gained into some of those areas where it had lost the last time around?
So if in the Jat belt where it is right now 15 to Congress and 13 to BJP, if you were to look at the BJP 2024 leads from the Lok Sabha, how much is it holding on to? 6 seats. It's holding on to 6 seats. No gains from the last time, but it's not losing. Those 6 seats which it led in the Lok Sabha in 2024, it's not losing those 6 seats. If you were to look at the Congress on the other hand, in the Jat belt, they had 23. They've got a gain of 4. So from 9, they've gone up to 13. The 9 seats that they had the last time, they've gone up to 13. But like I said,
the BJP's gained 5. Huh?
Yeah, the gain for the BJP has been 5. But I think really this whole assumption that exit pollsters certainly seem to have made that the Jats were so massively angry, they were so voluble in their anger against the BJP that they would en masse vote against the BJP. That has not come to bear.
Tom Vadakan of the BJP is with us. Tom Vadakanji, 10:05 a.m., just about 2 hours and 5 minutes into counting. Were you expecting this turn of, the story in Haryana? 46-36, 47-35. So 47. Right now you have the magic number and you're in position to form government. Just scrape through on the other side. Shaila is also with us at this point. And Tausif Shah of the PDP is also with us. Yes, Tom Vadakan. But Jammu and Kashmir, it seems to be going the National Conference Congress's way right now.
I had seen the exit polls, and despite that, I knew the groundwork that the Bhartiya Janata Party under the leadership of Modi ji would deliver. Because we have delivered. People of Haryana have realized here's one party which is delivering 10 years and still in the lead. We will continue to lead, that is finally will be decided later. But in the present scenario, it's a clear indication that the people of Haryana have realized that this is a party that will deliver and will continue to deliver in future. This is not about politics. If you see the plight of Himachal
that
Pradesh,
was made. 49,
look at the
34,
plight of Karnataka.
49-34. So what's the correction that was made between
these
June
are the
2024
the states are in debt,
and September 2024?
And they don't have money to pay their salaries, pensions. And if that is the same condition that is going to happen in Haryana, I think God is in his heaven and all is well on earth.
But you lost ground in June 2024, that is Lok Sabha, and you seem to have held ground with respect to the Vidhan Sabha elections. Bhupinder Hooda camp said, Jawan, Kisan, Pahalwan, you've let down all 3 and that's why the BJP will lose. But here right now you're almost touching 50. You're 4 clear of the halfway number and, and seem very comfortable to form government on your own without even the JJP. So this is actually a better performance than the 2019. If this holds, I'm just saying as of now, what do you think is a critical change on ground? Can you hear me, Mr. Vadakan?
Yes, this is based on performance, Anand. This is hardcore performance. This is the development project, Beti Bachao program, the various programs that have been implemented in Haryana, especially for the farmers. And 23 crops are receiving MSP. And these are not minor developments. This is delivery. And when there's delivery and there's a false narrative run and there's a regime change apparatus functional, people of Haryana are wise. They can see through these games and they will decide. And I do hope that this situation continues.
Well, please stay on with us, Mr. Vadakan. We'll talk Jammu and Kashmir also. Shaila Rashid is with us. Ratanlal Gupta, senior leader of the JK National Conference, should join us. Tausif Shah, spokesperson of the PDP, is also with us. Namaste to the lady and the gentleman. Now, Shaila Rashid, how would you see this? 52 seats right now, 52 leads for Congress plus NC. So they don't seem to need anybody to stake claim. Even with the 5 nominations, their 48 is the magic number. They are very clear.
Yeah. So I believe that as the day progresses, the numbers would get tempered. However, the overall trend holds. So the pollsters are not going to have a bad day. I think nobody is going to cry today on live TV because the predicted trend and whatever was the word on the street, whatever was the news on the ground, that is pretty much holds. So there's no anomaly. There's no big anomaly. As I had said yesterday on your channel, that the only anomaly seemed to be PDP getting 5 to 7 seats, because the word on the street was that they'll get between 0 and 1 seats. So if they do manage to get more than 3-4 seats, that's a really good performance for them. But otherwise, all the results are along expected lines, and wherever there's a good candidate, he or she has won, or he or she seems to be winning. So that's the
century for the BJP in Haryana. As far as the leads are concerned, Congress NC at 52, PDP only at 3 leads right now. Tausif Shah, how would you see this?
Morning to Zika, Anand, and all the panelists. I would just start that we have to take it with a bit of sugar, a bit of pinch of salt. So we have to take it, whatever the people's verdict, we have to take it as it is. Maybe there are some mistakes we have made in the past, which the verdict is coming out of the ballot boxes. So we have to see how we can improve it, how we can. But let me personally tell you that we are eyeing not less than a double digit in this assembly. And now second thing is there, the best part, that we are happy that BJP is being ousted from J&K. Maybe that can be they are getting the leads in Jammu. Obviously they're getting the leads in Jammu. What we are seeing, what are the very early predictions we can say. So the things are going to change. Obviously, lately in the day, as my
so you feel that Jammu and Kashmir mein thoda surat badlegi, seats ka distribution and what's going to happen. It's not going to be like this. Yes. It's not going to be a runaway win for Congress NC. That's what you feel.
No, we can see that once the day progresses, the ballot box is open, because maybe they are opening the ballot boxes where one party has a very strong hold. In the constituency, there are approximately say 100 booths, and they have different story to tell. So maybe these are only 19 to 20 have been opened, or 30 have been opened. So we are still yet 70 to go. So they can change, they can trail, they can lead, whatever can happen.
So but PDP has just increased its lead by 1 as we are speaking. Tausif Shah, you believe you should touch double digits, then that changes the whole dynamic.
Yes, we will surely, very confidently, I am telling that.
Right. Let me ask Mr. Tom Vadakan. Mr. Tom Vadakan, Haryana, you are hovering around 49-50. You seem comfortable as of now. We'll keep park Haryana on the side. But Jammu and Kashmir, now are you okay with this scenario? Because this means a whole new dynamic in Jammu Kashmir politics. Now, are you okay with the Jammu and Kashmir, how it is panning out right now, how it's looking right now? BJP at 24, Congress NC at 52 leads, PDP at 4, others at 10. So the BJP will have to sit in opposition in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly, and it could be an Omar Abdullah who will be the Chief Minister, who will have to work with the LG, and the central administration will have to work with the National Conference Congress combined there. What does that do to the narrative post Article 370 abrogation?
Anand, going forward? Anand, I would hold my horses till the last vote is counted, because things can happen. You've seen that happen in Haryana, and things can happen there too in Jammu and Kashmir, because people of Jammu and Kashmir have realized that development is what they need. It is not this this kind of what I would call divisionary politics that they talk about, and that kind of that 370 must go and all that. So I think they've realized, they've tasted the pudding. So I don't think they're going to refuse.
So you feel there will be, it's not yet consolidated in Jammu Kashmir. Just quick update, Julana, Vinesh Fogart is trailing. EVM counting gathers pace and Vinesh Fogart is trailing. Julana ki Bahu is currently trailing. The Congress is now 16 seats lead behind the BJP. So the BJP 16 seats ahead in leads of the Congress party in Haryana. The INLD now leading in 3 seats. So is Gopal Kanda back in the lead in Sirsa?
No, I think in the Sirsa seat, at least as far as the Magic Wall is concerned, Gokul Setia of the Congress is leading.
Congress is leading, but INLD is showing 3 leads there, and the others are leading in 5. Congress's lead really being shaved from about 55, 58 seats at one point in time to just 33
So basically they are back to where they were at 2019. In 2019, Congress had 31. The BJP had 40. The BJP has increased its tally by 9 this time around. The Congress is pretty much where it was in 2019. It had 31 last time. It's got 33 now. The big losers have been JJP, all 10 seats. The JJP is not leading in a single seat right now in Haryana. That seems to have split. The 2 seats that the wall is showing, Aditya Devilal is leading in the Dabwali seat. the grandson of the late Chief Minister, Mr. Devilal. From the Rania seat, Arjun Chautala is leading. The third seat, which is his father's seat, Abhay Chautala, is currently trailing in Islamabad. But I think these three seats are the ones that the INLD seems to be getting back from the JJP. As far as the BJP is concerned, 50 seats is what we are showing right now. The BJP has consolidated, no doubt, in this southern belt. Also, this belt, the rural part, which is in the western side, so places like Tosham, places like Nalwa,
this is the
Adampur.
This is the Jatsik Ahirwal belt.
Yeah, this is the belt that Rahul has been talking about. The Jatsik and Ahirwals. It seems to have really consolidated in this belt, and of course, holding on to
seats,
the GT corridor.
If you look right up to 41, and I don't know, those seats up there.
Complete turn of events. Now BJP, complete turn of events in Haryana. BJP now leading in 50 seats. Congress is now only in 32. BJP is in 50.
And if Vinesh Fogart is trailing,
then
BJP
have
is
the
voters,
consolidated
have the
in
Haryana
Jammu and
voters
Kashmir,
rejected
gone up to
this whole
25.
Pahalwan and this whole big business about, women, etc., been actually shown their place. We have to ask these questions.
Yeah,
Anand, I don't know why you're being a little
51
reticent
now,
about
51 for the BJP. Yeah.
Anand, you have to pose these
52
questions.
for the BJP,
52.
31 for the Congress, 52 for the BJP.
This
One
is
of the
what I
others
said,
also pinched away by the BJP. 52, 31.
Just because a certain section of the media was going on about this, I said yesterday as well, there is an element, Swati Malik for one, voiced it publicly, where she felt Fogart was using this as a self-serving maneuver. So I don't think everything was a monolith in the way we've been discussing it.
No, and there was this absolute charge that Miss Fogart herself was not supported by the government at the Olympic Games.
Which
She
was
came out and
incorrect.
actually
So look at
alluded to
Gurugram.
this.
All 4 assembly seats of Gurugram
Well, there you
are
go.
with the BJP, and
So-
that's where you had a defection. You had Ravinder Singh move out of that region. You also saw that there were certain defections from the BJP which happened. Ashok Tanwar left the BJP and then he comes. So all of that has
Well,
not
Mr. Modi
helped,
has been saying,
affected the
now hang
BJP
on, Mr.
bad.
Modi has been saying that look, all of these campaigns are orchestrated against his party deliberately to sour the mood of the voter, to mislead the voter, to undermine the voters' faith and trust in his Vikas model. Muditwa and
27
Hindutva.
rallies. 27 rallies in Haryana,
That's right.
both by Amit Shah and by the Prime
That's
Minister.
right.
Many said it's not going to work, it's going to backfire, and his entire leverage is on the ticket. Now with 51 seats, then does that happen? Mr. Vadakan, what would you like to say? Tell Mr. Gaurav Gogoi, who said that the states will reject PM Modi and he's lost his mojo. He's no longer able to influence at the state level.
Well, the reality is stark clear that Prime Minister Modi ji is accepted across Haryana. That's the message that's coming in. And that wrestler lady who lost by 100 grams is losing by more grams here. And let us say that this kind of regime change operations that they work out is not acceptable. They tried that through the agitations that were there. You had 4 or 5 sabotages, railway sabotages. This doesn't work. This country will not tolerate this kind of operations. While we receive Vande Mataram trains, there's destruction at the different stations. Do you think people of India will accept it? This kind of backdoor sabotage won't work. You can't come from the back door. You have to be accepted in a democratic setup.
But that story does not seem to be holding for you in Jammu and Kashmir. How would you explain Jammu and Kashmir there then? That the people have voted for Congress plus National Conference so far.
Well, Jammu and Kashmir is a situation that's developing. Let's wait. And I believe still that things will change. So let us wait, Anand. I think things are not. The last word has not been said
How does
yet.
it, Shaila Rashid? How does it change the story altogether post abrogation of 370? If the Congress NC were to be in power, Mr. Omar Abdullah were to be Chief Minister.
No, so first of all, the numbers, as I said, they are likely to get tempered. So this 55-50 number that we are seeing right now, it will settle around like 39-40. That's the very least that we should expect. So it's not going to be this kind of a skew. Now, you have to understand there's a difference between what political parties will try to make it out to be. They will say that this is a rejection of 370, etc., etc. But let's not forget that there was an election before the assembly election, Lok Sabha election, where both Omar Abdullah and Mehboobi, they actually lost their seats. So it's, the political parties are going to make it about 370. But I can tell you with confidence that, people here on the ground, For them, 370 is a thing of the past. They are like fed up of that narrative, and they want different things. They want whoever comes to power to come up with an economic package, to come up with a package of employment. So this is something I'm going to point out. When Prime Minister Modi came here during the assembly election, he came here for a rally on Srinagar. So I was watching the speech very carefully, and the loudest cheers came when he talked about zero electricity bills. And he talked about solar power, that there'll be an 80,000 rupees subsidy on installation of solar power. What does that tell you? That tells you that the biggest issue of people is electricity bills. And Anand, even when you were in Srinagar before I think during the Lok Sabha election, those are the things that I told you, that electricity is the biggest issue.
Electricity waste management, you said,
waste
was an
management. But yeah, I am the only person talking about waste management. Nobody else is talking about it.
People talked about dog bites. People talked about the fact that there were rabid dogs which are scavengers, which are attacking people on the streets, and it was difficult to
it's a very big issue.
Cycling. You know, it was local issues. It was local issues, and people said these were issues. But I'm just saying that the BJP did not field candidates across the seats, and whoever fielded candidates, the PDP has been rejected, the National Conference has been selected. If you see, the PDP contested hotly, right? It's not that they have not contested the seats. They seem to be in single digits. National Conference is in high double digits, and sweeping the Kashmir division, and with making inroads in Jammu division also. All of that is happening. I just have to take a break. I'll come back to you, Tausif Shah. Bhupinder Hooda is speaking, and then we'll play out Kumari Shailja also spoken with Yash.
कांग्रेस की सरकार बनने जा रही है भाई।
सर आपको किसी अलायंस की जरूरत पड़ेगी या कांग्रेस एबल टू?
नहीं, कांग्रेस अपनी मेजॉरिटी लाएगी।
सर फुल फ्लैग मेजॉरिटी वाली कांग्रेस की सरकार बनेगी, पूरी उम्मीद है आपको?
हाँ, कह तो जगह कितनी बार कह रहा हूँ।
सर क्रेडिट गोज टू राहुल गांधी एंड भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा जी ओनली।
क्रेडिट गोज टू पार्टी, राहुल गांधी जी, मल्लिका खड़गे जी, प्रियंका जी, all leaders of the Congress.
So what's your
and real credit goes to the people of Haryana.
What will be your priorities after the form government? What will be your priorities?
How many questions will you ask? You ask one question. There are others also.
सर काफी रुझानों में क्लोज कंटेस्ट नजर आ रहा है, ऐसा एक्सपेक्टेड था क्या?
नहीं था, जहाँ कहीं क्लोज है, कहीं पे है, लेकिन कांग्रेस इज गेटिंग मेजॉरिटी।
सर आपके लिए नतीजे आने वाले हैं, जो नतीजे अभी दिख रहे हैं?
नतीजे मेरे को मालूम है, कांग्रेस की सरकार बनने जा रही है। अरे नहीं जलेबी खा सबने।
Thank you so much, ma'am, for speaking to CNN News 18. Early trends suggested that Congress was taking away the lead, but now things are changing a little bit. The numbers are going here and there. How do you see these trends?
It seems to be going haywire, and but soon it will settle down, and you will see that Congress will form the government with an overwhelming majority.
Ma'am, you were very confident that Congress will be crossing the 60 mark. Are you still confident about that?
I'm still confident. I'm still confident.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, another question which is still everyone is actually pondering upon is about who will be the chief minister, because you are saying the decision will be made by High Command, and Mr. Huda is saying that decision will be made by the MLAs.
Well, I don't know what he has said, but I can tell you, and I've said this earlier, because I know how our party works, and I'm sure even he would have said that. See, there's a CLP meeting which is called, and then the observers talk to the MLAs, and then there's a resolution. First, there's a resolution which authorizes the High Command, and final word rests with the High Command.
Ma'am, since when we're talking about these elections, one equation are we still looking at, like of a chief minister and a deputy chief minister, so that kind of equation can also be playing?
I'm no one to comment on that.
So ma'am, just one final question, ma'am. The kind of results, the kinds of trends we are seeing right now, what do you think worked really in favor of the Congress party? Were the hyper-local issues more prominent this time around, or the statewide issues actually really worked?
Well, there were a lot of issues, and it's always a mix of few issues.